8-ball Super League semi-final between Greg Laurie and Chris Freeman on table 1, and on table 2 we have Bernie's Cale Barrett against Marcus Jackson. My name's Jeremy Maguire, and sitting beside me is Troy Rudley.
Correct.
And we welcome you to this afternoon's event.
We'll try and talk you through some of the proceedings. Some shots we might call right, some we might not. But see how we go.
Well, all these boys are quite inventive, Troy, so it's very hard to predict exactly which way they're going to go, but we hope you enjoy.
Some great pool, I reckon. There'll be some great frames of pool and probably some tight matches, hopefully.
Well, they've both played extremely well, all these players, to get to the finals.
Yeah, you were knocked out in a tight one. Was that last night, mate?
Yeah, last night against Marcus Jackson. He played absolutely phenomenal.
Yep.
And he dispatched me 11-9 in a fairly tight contest. Could have gone either way in the end, but he just too solid in the end for me.
Yeah. Played
very well. So if he plays like he did, he had I think he had like 4 or 5 clearances against me from the break. So if he keeps that standard up this morning, today against Cale, it'll be a great match.
Yeah, and he's going to need to. I was having a chat to him earlier, and he said he's not going to change his style. He's not going to go into his shell or try and play negative pool or anything like that. He's going to back himself, and hopefully he can play one visit pool or close enough to, and win the match outright.
Yep.
Which he's more than capable of doing.
And Greg Laurie had to beat Anthony Adams on Wednesday night to get in to play Chris.
I did catch a little bit of that one. There was a bit of a Facebook live stream going on. Once again, I had a quick chat to Lucky before about that, and not taking anything away from Greg, but Anthony was playing some pretty erratic pool, and Lucky was coming in and mopping up, and that's all he had to do. So,
yeah, 100%. And to be honest, that's this is a fantastic opening clearance from Cale's break. I'm pretty sure Cale broke those and dumped the white, and Marcus Jackson just mops the balls up exactly like what he was doing to me last night.
True to his word. I just spoke to him, as I said, and he said one visit pool's the way to do it.
There wasn't too many frames yesterday where we got 2 or 3 visits.
Yeah.
It was either 1 or 2 visit pool.
Jacko said to me, he reckoned there was probably 10 frames that were either snap clearances or snap returns out of the what just play 19?
19.
20 frames?
20 frames, yeah.
Yeah.
It was extremely high quality final.
But when you're in a tournament like this, at the pointy end, obviously here now we've got Australian reps and Australian champions and Tasmanian representatives. It's going to be, it should be quality pool.
It's high standard. Well, Marcus yesterday only had 1 dry break. So
did say he broke very well.
So,
and he said that's probably the area that had him on top. He said you did not break well.
Did not break well. Did not break well. But in saying that, I got 3 balls in off the breaks, and 2 of my breaks where I got balls in, I ran the racks. So I ran 2 out of 3 breaks I got.
You'd like to get a few more balls off the break.
just needed to get more balls off the break. But anyway, enough about that. More about these guys. It's on the back table. We have Mike McGlynn playing Mike Pace in the second tier Super League format. This year we introduced a second tier format. Some people call it B grade. I'd prefer to call it second tier because, when you say B grade, it sort of defines players, but a lot of the players that played in that are actually A grade players.
Yep.
So now we actually have a 2-tier system, which is a feeder comp for our main Super League, our top tier.
Yep.
The actual winner of that event between Mike, well, the two Mikes, the winner actually obviously wins cash, and they also win their entry into the first division next year.
Great idea. Yep.
So, and after today we have a couple of months off, then we have a tryout. We have a tryout where we have just one day, one qualification day where the players qualify and the top 5 make the top tier, and the second 5, 6 to 10 make the second tier division for next year. We have 18 players in the division, the main comp, and 14 players in our second division. So 8 ball lately in Hobart's really going ahead in leaps and bounds. It's great.
Most definitely is. And the two comps, how many players carry over from? How many people automatically qualify in the Premier?
Well, obviously you got the 10 from the second tier, but because one of them goes into the first tier, that leaves 9. So it leaves 14 to come in. And in the top tier, there's 18 players, and 13 qualify. Sorry, bit of a mind blank there.
You're right, mate.
Yeah, sorry, 14 qualify. 14 stay in. Sorry, 12 stay in. Sorry, 12 are safe. The 13th person comes from the Division 2, and the 5 qualify.
Yep. Sorry, I already knew all this. I'm just asking for the people,
for the people
out
at home. Put me on the spot. I understand. Not that fantastic with numbers.
Who won that first frame over here with Lucky and Chris? We probably should concentrate more on the game.
It was Chris, but
we're just getting onto that, old mate.
Kale's unfortunately
not sure yet. We were
buried himself
chatting
in
away,
behind
mate,
the black.
looking at the other table. Obviously, we'd like to thank Andrew Saltmarsh on travelling the 200 kilometres down south to bring you people this live feed today, live stream.
On Q Sports Tas?
On Q Sports Tas. Does a fantastic job. Doesn't make a great deal of money out of it, but just loves the game and loves to put it out there for everyone. So well done again, Andrew.
So,
right, scores are up to date now. Chris Freeman, Skinner's won the first frame over Greg Laurie. Lucky.
current Australian champion, Masters champion.
Yeah.
And has been playing some very confident pool.
I think all these reds are on too, Jez. That black goes over to the left bottom corner there, so he hopefully can get round these nicely and level up the scores. A couple of nice little positionals to play. They're not easy, but
no, they're not easy, especially the drop in the one near the hole to come back up the side rail to land on the black's going to be the hardest.
Bit of left-hand side and flick back up there for it.
But I know Greg's been putting in a fair bit of time for today. And
Great shot there. Oh, I don't know, has he come far enough? Can definitely pot it with swerve, but the white ball's going to be going the wrong way out.
The white ball control is not going to be good. I personally think he'd be better off just touching the ball and leaving it in the hole. I think a red ball being potted here won't be in his favour. Oh,
Yeah.
a miss by Marcus then, but he's got a second visit from where Kale snookered himself. Gived away 2 shots.
I reckon if Lucky pumps this over the hole, I think Skinners might play the yellow onto the black and put the black back up this end of the table off the top rail.
Oh, that's a good outcome.
Well, we can't do that now, but
Yeah. It's very hard commentating on 2 tables, Rudders.
it is.
Because we've got eyes going everywhere.
We were talking about it before the match, and we
yeah.
said which match are we going to concentrate on.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do, isn't it?
Very hard. I mean, Marcus has got himself into a position where he's got a beautiful drawback straight virtually where his white ball is now or anywhere around that position. Give him a simple black, which I can't see too much going wrong here.
You barely have to cue that to screw back, Jacko. I watched him cue a ball over there when he was practicing before, and I reckon he screwed up and down the table 3 times.
Yeah, well, he does cop a little bit of flack sometimes for his screw control, because he learnt best players in his stepfather at the time, Andrew Holloway.
Yep.
And Andrew Holloway was never renowned for getting good position with a screw back, so yeah.
Overscrew it a little.
Over or under.
Wow.
But I mean, let's face it, he's such a great potter. It doesn't really matter. He's very similar to Chris, where Chris doesn't seem to really mind where he finishes as long as he leaves himself a shot.
Yeah.
He doesn't stress over being 100% perfect.
Yep.
And because he's such a good cueist, he still knocks them in nearly 100% of the time, as you'll see today. Marcus off to a 2-0 lead against Hale. Nice break by Kale. Yellow ball in off the break. Better than his first break because he dumped the first white. And
was made to pay for that.
Made to pay.
Hasn't made that mistake again, though. These look fairly reasonable.
In a great advantage here because all the reds are on, and a little bit of insurance having that yellow ball glued to the top rail. Bottom rail. So and I think Lucky's only left himself up the top. Unfortunately, I think it's a little bit of a do or die shot.
Yeah.
Actually missed. The players would have to be a little bit nervy just to start off with. It doesn't matter how good you are.
Definitely.
You're in a premier semi-final. It's a premier event, and they've all looked forward to making it this far.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you'd be human, mate, if you didn't feel it a bit. There'd be something wrong with you, I think. Obviously, some people deal with their nerves in different ways than others. Some people can't handle it. Some people can. I think all these guys would be pretty good with it, though. They've
fairly seasoned state players.
A few dollars on the line as well. Always makes you think about it a little bit.
Yeah, some good money on the line. The winner will walk away with $1,000 today. Runner-up will get $500. And by memory, I think everyone in this area will end up at least with $350.
Yep.
170 entry for the season. 170 entry, Troy, and it's it works out $10 a week.
Yep.
$10 a week. You get your 17 matches. We're lucky enough that we have the Hobart Workmen's Club and the Claremont RSL that sponsor us the tables, so we don't have to play. We don't have to pay for the tables, but we do, because of the other roster coming in. this year. We've obviously got more table use happening. We're very lucky that we've got 4 brand new tables upstairs as well to use. So we've got 8 table venue, which we're lucky enough, which is set up all the time.
Yep.
But we do have a private group on Facebook where we book in our tables now.
Yep.
Because of availability. That was a great shot by Greg. And a doubly return. A great shot by Chris.
Yeah, definitely. I thought he would have been taking the yellow over the hole here, just off the rail, but I thought it was a lot easier shot than the one he took on.
I don't think it was on that well, because I'm actually sitting straight behind that. I mean, looking from the camera, looking from the monitor, it looked like it was on, but I don't think it was that easy.
Yeah.
That easy on the table. Turns into a bit of a tactical battle against Marcus and Cale in this frame. Cale did have, from the opening, his balls were all on.
Yeah, I've looked away from there, and I definitely thought he would have mopped up most of them, if not all of them, after the break. It's always easy sitting back here though, mate, isn't it?
Never miss a ball.
Nah.
We are not trying to bring you the back B grade table. It's just that way where the camera's positioned on these 2 tables, but it's actually not a bad view of the back B grade table, even though the split screen sort of isn't perfect for the back table. I think Salty could have done better. But for those people at home that are interested and are watching,
they can definitely work out what's going on.
They can see that what's going on. It's actually a good view. You can't actually see how many people's here, Troy, but we'd have about 25, 30 people watching.
Yep.
Obviously for the final at 3 o'clock, we'll have a lot more come in to watch the finals. It's good of you to come down from Launceston as well. Help me out with the commentary.
Not a problem at all, mate. I've come down, actually, we've got a killer crossover meeting today to get all that stuff fired up and underway, ready for August.
And
but,
so...
it's also, obviously, to watch some great pool and give a hand with the commentary, very enjoyable.
I'm doing the right thing by wearing my killer crossover shirt today.
Salty did as well, and I just pulled something else out of the wardrobe.
You should be advertising your own event.
Yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you?
That's good to hear that the Hobart Workmen's Club's coming on board for the 2nd year in a row to sponsor it as its venue.
Yeah, well, I haven't been informed
anything else?
yet, but I will be shortly.
Oh, okay. Oh, well,
I think everything's all good, mate. I think they're pretty happy and we're pretty happy, so not too much will be changing from last year. A few things will be getting bigger and better, hopefully a bit more prize money and a few more big gun players coming down, and, mate, it'll be an absolute blast again as usual. Thoroughly enjoy the organisation of it and playing in the event.
Oh, it was just an awesome event last year, and obviously by not one negative feedback from the tournament from the mainland players, I think everyone really enjoyed it. Their accommodation is within like a 2-minute walk. The venue stayed open for them so they could enjoy themselves. They didn't have to go anywhere else. Everyone's treated really well at the Workmen's Club. The food's good.
Food, meal,
good. The venue's
great
good.
Restaurant. I think actually on the Monday morning after the event, some of us left here about 6 a.m.
Probably shouldn't say that. A licensing probably wouldn't want to hear that, but I don't think...
well, we'll say no money was changing hands, but...
don't think licensing likes venues when open that late.
They were prepaid drinks from before midnight.
But no, the venue definitely looks after the players here. And we're lucky to have a venue like this in Hobart, let alone Tasmania. A lot of our top players all play from the Workmen's Club or out of the Workmen's Club. For that simple reason, because they support our sport. We're lucky to have Claremont RSL as well. Like I said,
another great venue.
Another fantastic. That's our premier snooker venue, especially for viewing in Tasmania. I mean, our Claremont RSL is fantastic. Has a fantastic snooker setup out there with 4 tables. I mean, we've gone away a little bit from the games in the last few minutes, guys, for the simple reason is they have gone a little bit tactical, and it's far better for you guys to realise what they're doing rather than us tell you.
If the people at home don't want to listen to us, mate, they can turn the
Just
volume
turn it
down.
down.
Yeah.
Turn it down. It's been a good little attacking clearance from Kale. And his second visit will definitely guarantee this game. And looks like the score is going to be 2-1.
It's always good to get that first frame on the board.
First frame on the board's great. So with the killer crossover this year, you're bringing in a new concept of having some satellite tournaments around Australia to encourage some people that probably a little bit further out than Adelaide and Melbourne.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
Obviously, should say South Australia and Victoria. Like to get it, a few more players from up north, Queensland way, or Western Australia, or
and I mean, not everyone can afford to travel all the way to Tasmania and you know, pay 3 nights accommodation and $250 entry, airfares, all that sort of stuff. So this gives them a chance for $100 to have all their accommodation paid and entry into the event for $100. So you know, you've still got to spend a little bit, but not as much. So a couple of lucky people from each satellite will be straight into the main draw.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea. Obviously, it's virtually works obviously similar to the Western National.
It'll be run pretty much identical to that, and a gap's open there as Ron's been too busy to run the Western National anymore. So we've just jumped in and run with it. I don't think Ron would mind too much.
Yeah. I mean, the concept's there to be used, and I think they started doing that with the big guns last year with the going even international.
Yes.
They went international with...
which will be happening again. There's about 3 qualifiers coming from England, I think.
And that's fantastic that they're getting venues internationally involved in these competitions.
Yeah.
And I mean, even with the prize money that's on offer from the killer crossover, $8,000 for a first place is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, you know, that's still probably £5,000. So £4,500, £5,000, probably more. I don't know what the exchange rate is at the moment. So
so we're looking at running hopefully 8 satellites. We've got say 5 that I'm pretty certain are going to go ahead already. Hopefully we'll have 8, so that'll be 16 spots out of the main draw gone. So there'll only be 32 spots to buy in this year. So it's going to be a bit of a race for those, I think.
Are they going to be offered obviously to the people that have participated in the last 3?
So
that makes it very difficult, doesn't it?
Haven't really thought about it too much as yet, but I mean, if people really want to play in it, they'll enter and pay up anyway. So
when's that going to come available to enter?
Oh well, it'll be still a little while off yet, but it won't be too far away. And I mean, people can pay off their entry, like they can put their name down as long as they put $50 in the bank. You know, we don't mind. They pay it off over a few months. There's no problem.
So in other words, what you're going to say, if there's only going to be 32 spots available, they're going to go very fast.
I would think so. Yeah,
I would say nearly immediately.
Pretty much, I think there's going to be a lot more interest. There was some great feedback last year from not only the 2 finalists in Justin Sage
and
Jimmy Delahunty, who gave us a great spiel on their Facebook pages and all that sort of stuff. There's been a lot more interest from the mainland as well.
Ramp up the numbers. I suppose we don't have the tables or the time.
Well,
time restraints.
Our final didn't finish till 1 a.m. or 12:30 or 1 a.m. last year. So, and I mean the players didn't mind that. They're playing for a lot of money, so they don't care. But you just can't make it any longer.
And I know there was some feedback from viewers saying the frames were slow, but like you said, they're playing for a lot of money, and at the end of the day, if the people are watching, it's like this event. We don't have any time restraints on our Super League.
Yeah.
And people were saying to me, because me, Luke, Tony and Chris we virtually run the Super League, like if there's any like little things that need fixing. And they've said to us, you know, are there going to be times for the finals? And we said no, because we want the players to give their 100% best on the table, and either you win giving your best, and so you got no time pressures.
Yep.
And if people don't want to watch it because they might think it's a little bit slower, well, we're not really too concerned with that, because we just want the best quality 8-ball we can get.
Yep. Fair enough.
The players. I mean, I know people have already gone through talking about the 2020 a fair bit, but most of the top players have actually turned around and said now the 2020 is really not that great. It's definitely changes the game. Does rush a fair
bit. I agree
bit.
with it in some circumstances. It is good for the game in some ways, but as you know, in a tactical battle or something like that, when you've really got to put some thought into the game, like we can't just pot out every frame.
No.
Sometimes you need that little bit of extra time. It's just not enough time. And you see people laying down and just hitting balls because they haven't actually come up with a plan of attack.
Making silly mistakes.
Yeah.
Where in this concept, what we've got at the moment with the Super League having no timing, we're actually getting. Look, there has been at times where some of our games, when they've gone to 11-10, like 10 alls, that the games have been stretched out where they've been going for, 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes 4 hours, but they're very, very rare. Very rare. Most of these guys, they're so in tune to playing the 2020 now that most of them are actually, fantastic shot, Greg.
Yeah, shot lucky.
That most of them are playing within the 30 seconds now anyway.
Yeah.
Or within the minute anyway.
Yeah.
Does Kale play under 2020 in Burnie?
I'm not sure what they play up there, mate, to tell you the truth.
That's I know they play under a shorter team format. I think they only play 6 to a team
I've
up
seen
there.
their score sheets being posted up, but I'm not sure about their timing.
I think some of them up in that area still even play doubles, don't they? It's like
pretty sure they do.
2 sets of 6 and a set of 3 doubles.
Yep.
To get your best of 15, race to 8. It's great that Kale came down here this year. There was absolutely not one bit of negative feedback in Kale wanting to play in this, and if anything, the players have actually wanted him down here to play in it. He's probably a little bit starved because of his ability to who he can actually play up in the northwest.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, there's still some there's just some little mistakes creeping into these guys' finishes.
Yeah.
There's still some great players up northwest way, but it's not like they're playing each other all the time. Down here, we get to play each other quite regularly, and if we're not playing each other, we're having a hit with each other.
Yep. Oh, I'm sure on the other hand as well, mate. That's a
what
nice
a fantastic shot.
Carl would have been just as delighted to be invited, mate. I mean, everyone else has had to qualify or play in the comp, so he'd be stoked as well.
We only played 16 last year.
Yep.
And we actually invited Kale, so we opened a spot up for him. So because we opened a spot up for him with the people that actually paid their money to qualify, we thought it only fair that we took it from 16 to 8, from 5th, to up to 18 players, to give people more chances to qualify as well. Yep. And the qualification day worked really well. We got about 14, 15 players come in for the qualification day to make up the other 5 spots.
Yep. Sorry, mate, just to interrupt. If your Skinner's here, wouldn't you be just playing off the back rail here up and touch the yellow up on the top, on the left-hand side, the other end of the table?
Yes.
Put a bit of distance between the balls. It was nearly automatic safety. I mean, lucky's a chance of potting it, but there's a lot of distance up that end of the table.
Missed this black. Oh no, geez. The angle that black went in, I thought Kale had missed that.
And Skinner's thought about that for a long time as well.
Yeah.
I think that would have been the way to go there.
Yeah. Greg played with a bit of left-hand side to straighten that up off the rail, and
nice
perfect.
Shot.
And this gets Greg on the scoreboard. Following Chris 2 frames to 1. We'll get an update for you shortly on the Mike Pace and Mike McGlynn final. They both came through. Mike McGlynn beat Nick Evans in the semi just before we went live stream. Nick Evans only lost 1 match for the whole roster, and then unfortunately lost in the semi, but that's 8 ball.
And Mike Pace beat
Mike Pace.
Him, didn't he?
Mike Pace beat.
McGlynn beat.
And McGlynn beat Andrew Grundy.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you said it the other way around.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I must admit, I have been following it. Their actual Super League page is still a private group, which I don't know why, because
right?
some people are interested.
Yep.
Our main Super League is an open public group because we don't mind, and if people are interested, they can follow us on the Tasmanian 8-Ball Super League, Southern Tasmanian 8-Ball Super League. Been very lucky, having Tony Cannon involved. Our Super League actually does pay for itself, though. We actually pay Tony Cannon to sort of facilitate, do all the rosters and everything. So we give him a small payment for doing that, but we also understand that he puts in a lot more time than what that payment is. He does a fantastic job.
More than fair.
More than fair.
Ours is the same in the other end, but we pay Soldy a lump sum at the end because he streams it as well. So, sort of brings it all together, and then he does the website for us and looks after it that way. Yeah. Because he doesn't play in it either now. He's just
just
total administration.
Which is a shame, because after he won the MVP in the David Smarty a couple of weeks ago, he was actually probably playing some of the best 8-ball I've seen him
in
the old Saltbush play for a long time.
And don't worry, he's told me about that a couple of times on the way down from Launceston
this morning. I bet you he has.
Actually referring to himself as the MVP.
I was just trying to think who won the MVP for South.
I actually awarded it to the MVP, and he might just be sitting next to me.
Must have been pretty lucky that day.
Pretty lucky, yeah. He only won 7 out of 8 or something.
6 out of 7. 6 out of 7. If there was drug testing, I probably would have been
miserably.
Would have been in a little bit of trouble. I was.
You were looking a little white and high as a kite, but
it's probably the first time I played in a Dave Smart where I haven't actually enjoyed a frothy. Only because I had a motorbike accident a week and a half before. A couple of weeks before.
Yeah, well, that'll slow you up a bit, mate.
Yeah.
Glad to see all's well though, and you're on the mend.
Yeah,
obviously still not 100%, but
no, not 100%. Ribs take a while to heal, and I've got 6 cracked ones of them. So being a football player, you'd probably understand how they feel. But the doctor's got me on some really good painkillers. But haven't smoked for a month.
Really?
And today it's been a month, and I haven't smoked, and haven't smoked and haven't had a beer in a month.
Jeez.
I know, that's nearly impossible to believe.
Swearing at me there, brother.
But all comes out well in the wash. It could have been a lot worse, and pretty happy to even be commentating.
Yeah, bloody oath, mate. Righto. Let's have a look here. Lucky's looking
very good here.
Again.
Extremely good here. All the balls just drop in. Probably the one close to the middle. He can just, as long as he leaves himself an easy position on the next red, he could just trickle that in. He's going to do it now. He's going to do it now.
Bit of distance there. You probably would have left that a little bit, but
yeah,
he's got a bit of coverage there now, so maybe too disappointed.
The way he actually played it, I don't think he was going to be disappointed if he did just roll it across the face of the...
Yeah.
Oh, he's left Chris
tight.
Now it's turned into... It looked like an out. Now it's turned into a tactical battle. I've got to take my hat off to Mike Pace too. I mean, he didn't qualify high up for these finals. He shows a lot of tenacity, a lot of grit when it comes to these things.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, you can say, he's worked for himself for many years. He's got a lot, he tries his hardest nearly at everything he does. He always 100% supports 8-Ball as well financially through his business. He's a great sponsor of 8-Ball in Southern Tasmania, or Tasmania in whole. But for him to come through into the final is a great effort. I mean, everyone should be aware that obviously Mike Pace is Alex Pace's father. Of course, that's where Alex Pace learnt everything from. And I think we'll have to start saying that more often.
Dad might have to give him some pointers about making the final.
Yeah. Well, consistent. Alex Pace was consistent this year in the Super League. He made it last year and he made it right through to the final. He actually didn't make the top 8. He didn't actually make the top 8, but Sammy actually misjudged his holidays.
Had to go away.
And had to go away, and which brought Alex into the 8. And then Alex just destroyed everyone to make the final. He sort of grew another leg and destroyed everyone, and I beat him in the final.
Yes, you most certainly did.
But
no, yeah, that was a great effort. Like you said, obviously coming from ninth
Coming
spot,
from ninth.
not even being in the finals and then making the final.
I mean, we work on the AFL knockout, like the final series. We work in the AFL knockout series. And talking about losing you to a killer crossover meeting, mate, I'm going to lose you for a few minutes, but I hope it doesn't go for too long.
We'll get someone else to jump in. It won't go for long, mate, at all.
I will. I'll probably just focus on one game for a little bit because it is hard.
Yeah.
I'll probably focus on the Greg Laurie and Chris Riemann game. Obviously, you can watch whatever game you want to. I probably will focus on their game because I probably know it a bit better.
Yeah. I'm just looking around for someone that'll jump on with you for a minute, for 15 minutes or so, mate.
Oh, that's easy. I'll get young Alex Pace too. He'll jump on for a couple of minutes.
I'll jump off in a minute. I'll go and grab him for you.
Just tell him to pop over.
All right, guys, I'll be back shortly.
Nice clean finish by Kale. And from being 2-0 down, Kale now is 3-2. So nice little mini comeback for Kale and push ahead. Thanks very much, Troy, and don't be too long. 3-2 to Kale, and Greg Laurie's trailing Chris by 2-1. But in semi-control of this game. And I'm about to be joined by Alex Pace. Come over and do a bit of commentary with me. I don't protest to be the best commentator. Actually, I don't do it that much because I don't like telling players what they are saying to what players they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing. So it's a bit of a miss there by Greg, but I don't think he's... Why that yellow is sitting on top of the red in the middle, I don't think he's left too much damage. What's the score? But I'd like to welcome Alex.
Thanks, mate.
How are you?
Good.
Alex Pace's dad's playing in the second league.
Mickey Pace,
Super League final. I was saying to the audience at home, what a fantastic job he's done.
Oh, yeah, he's come back from nothing really, bit of a dark horse.
I think he qualified at number 5 or 6 position. And, I was just saying, it just shows how much tenacity he's got. He just doesn't give up.
No, he loves it. No,
he loves it.
Yeah.
And you can never really write him off. You never write him off. And I think he actually, it's amazing, he played Nick Evans, and Nick Evans went through he lost one match to young Hayden Esposito in his last match.
Yeah, no, but he had a great season.
Yeah, and Nick had a fantastic season. He was actually my pick before the season started. The snooker season.
It was mine too.
The snooker season was running, and Nick Evans plays, and he knocked in a 56. Knocked in a 56 break in snooker, which I thought.
So
he was
he's playing very good.
He was playing good. But maybe it was just one of those days. But your father's definitely stepped up to the plate and playing well.
Yeah, no, he's been putting in a bit of time as well, actually. It's only
because he doesn't like letting himself down.
No, he doesn't.
He likes,
He said he was a bit nervous today as well for the first time in a while, so he's getting a bit of killer in him.
Me and Troy spoke about that before, and Michael was saying, like, if you're not a little bit nervous,
you don't want it enough.
Yeah,
you don't
doesn't
want it
mean
enough.
Yeah. And busy season this year for you. Finished in the same position as last year.
Yeah, no, I think so. But I didn't get a walk through this year.
Didn't get a walk through.
That's a great shot by Greg Laurie.
Great
That's a
shot by
terrific
Greg
shot.
Laurie. it has unfortunately opened it up, so it's still going to be a tight match there.
Unlucky with your match yesterday, mate.
Yeah, look, I've got nothing to complain about.
I heard it was I heard it was a very high quality final.
It was a good high quality, and look, doesn't matter who loses, they're going to be upset a bit.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think you get more upset if you don't perform.
Yeah, but you performed though?
Yeah, performed well.
Good.
I mean, like in all matches that are races to 21, you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes little mistakes are big mistakes when you're playing quality players because they punish you.
Yeah.
Because they punish you.
One frame pull.
Yeah, or one visit pull. So yeah. But it's it's good. Look, I've enjoyed the season. Obviously, I didn't enjoy the outcome what's happened in the last few weeks with me, but I mean...
how are you recovering anyway?
Yeah, good. No, everything's going all right that way. Good drugs.
Yeah, that's the best.
Good drugs. This will be a fantastic clearance by Lucky.
That's a bit far for a double, I think.
It is, but if he hits it a bit, it's off the rail enough, and if he hits it firm enough, it will straighten it up. Oh, it's 2 visits.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's...
We're not following the match here.
Not following it, obviously, close enough. Well, that's a nice clean out by him.
That's a fantastic out by Greg Laurie.
All right, awesome. Sorry, we were focused on that.
Marcus also seems to be in a bit of good form at the moment.
Look, Marcus, probably the last 3 or 4 matches, he's actually he's been playing extremely confident and good.
Yeah.
And just
good X factor.
Just very good. He's been playing very well. I mean, I can see this match on theirs going right down to the wire. But in saying that, I can see actually both these matches, because really we've actually ended up with the 4 best players in the final.
Oh, for sure. This season, absolutely.
This is the 4 best players that we could have hoped for. And I mean, I know that's hard in saying that for myself, because I'd like to put myself in that. But in reality,
form for the season, absolutely.
In reality, when it comes to form for the season, these guys have been going great. Greg Laurie's it's 2-all between Chris and.
Kale hasn't dropped a match for the season yet, has he?
Yes, he lost Anthony Adams
in
his last match.
Okay,
I think it was 11-4, so it was
11-4.
Yeah, it was a pretty big loss.
Wow.
And then he
on
the same day he was 8-3 up against Sam Thurgood.
Yep.
And he only got over the line 11-8 against Sam Thurgood. He lost.
I remember watching.
Then he lost to Anthony Adams. And then, funny enough, Chris Riemann then came in and played Anthony Adams straight after that, because it was the last match of the rostered season. And because on the last week, and Kale not being from Hobart, so Kale had to do catch-up matches.
Yeah,
he had to play about 3 catch-up matches. No, well, his first match was against Sam.
Okay, I hadn't warmed up.
So probably hadn't warmed up that way. It's a great shot by Chris. Chris is so inventive that...
Very creative player, very creative player.
Like, sometimes when he does that and shakes his head, which you can't see it on the monitor, but we can live, sometimes when he shakes his head, he still gets them. So, you've been busy lately, Alex? You're...
mate, I've just been...
Are you doing uni this year or having a gap year?
I'm having a gap year this year, mate.
I love kids. I love kids when they say they're having a gap year. Is that just terminology for... I've got rich parents and I want to bludge for a year, or
no, that's going to say I'm going to make my own income for a year. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
I hope you're not going to be eating that and commentating at the same time.
Oh, I will, mate. Don't you worry. Yeah, nice.
Alex just got delivered his lunch. Oh, it's a fantastic shot by Chris. You can play this two ways. You can either draw it up the side rail a few inches and play it up into the top, which I think that's what he's looking at, or he can actually draw it right up the table and roll the red back down. What would you do, Alex? Drop it onto the side rail? I think he's got a slight angle just to bring it up onto the side rail and take it up the top corner.
Oh, that's what I would do, yeah.
No, he's decided to bring it up and he hasn't finished well.
That's not the best position, no.
And where all the yellows are positioned, Greg looks like he is going to be in a good position to attack these yellows. And I think Marcus might have just come through it. Might have just come through enough to be on this black, only by millimetres. And Chris has fouled and given 2 shots, and it's a fairly open pot out for Greg. Look, I practice a lot with Greg at home.
That's
and this is a practice run for Greg.
Greg. Not even a second thought here.
Yeah.
Is Marcus on this?
Oh, Marcus.
Close.
Unfortunately, they're the opportunities that you create that against Kale that you should take. Because let's face it, we all know how fantastic Kale is of jumping on opportunities.
When you get an opportunity,
he makes his own opportunities and he jumps on them.
Opportunities, yeah.
Well, Greg's going about this a little bit different way than probably most of us would, but I think he'll still have the same result.
He likes a challenge. he likes a challenge.
Look, sometimes when you think you might have him, you don't.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. And that's just purely and simply because the 2 shots before got way out of position. I mean, you'd still back him to finish these.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
just uncanny.
The safety's there, but
just uncanny. 2 shots from there, Greg would normally punish.
It's a bit of a shot to nothing, really, to get the yellow out. But
did he have to?
No.
I think if he just dropped in the yellow, he probably didn't have to. But I'm not here to tell people how they should play. They're the ones out there.
Very true.
But all I'd say is normally Greg, the way the inform he is,
2 shots for
that out. Actually, sometimes you find with players, when they get given 2 shots, they get a little bit lazy.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that one for myself. That's a fantastic shot.
That is a great result. Greg.
That is a fantastic shot.
Greg will be trying.
Luckily, he's got the angle to get down onto that bottom yellow. That's been covered.
He's actually got the angle to drop down either on against the rail or pull it back and double it onto it. Which way would you go?
I'd go onto the rail and go across. Yeah.
Go across.
Yeah. I think it's much cleaner.
But I don't think.
Wow.
I wouldn't mean doing this.
Interesting. That's not ideal. I don't know what he was trying. I think he was trying to get the angle again, the same angle again.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that yellow wasn't right in the hole, so the actual Jackie probably wasn't that great. So I can sort of understand. Maybe he was trying to pot the one in the middle, float back down to the one on the bottom. He's covering it. That's a great shot.
That's a fantastic shot.
That is a great shot because, as we know, and as you know, just because you've got a hot ball in the hole doesn't always mean that you're going to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, people with Greg's standard can soon, as long as Chris doesn't leave him in positions to extract it. Chris is looking at pushing the white ball up to the top rail, leaving him off the yellow that's not over the red.
Chris doesn't have to do much here.
No, he's going to force him. He's going to force him to play the one over the red straight away. Where really Greg would rather move the other yellow, get another snooker, and then get 2 shots to then. That's nice clearance. Yeah. That's a great clearance by Kale. And Kale forges ahead to 5-3. And that's what we were saying about before about Marcus Jackson with his chances on that black. He's like, Marcus would normally put that black away, be 4-all.
It was a bit tight, but yeah, no, those are the sort of chances you can't be missing.
Are you in for the day, Alex? Are you into what?
No, mate, I'll be watching Mickey Pace, and then I'll be supporting a friend getting her ears pierced.
Okay, a girl.
A friend that's a girl.
Actually, I shouldn't say a girl getting their ears pierced because blokes do it just as much. I notice you've got, you're wearing a new earpiece. Have you got one
mate.
on the other side?
I have, mate. I'm not gay.
I have, but you are gay. You're not gay, but I just don't see you with women.
Thanks, mate. The casino's my woman.
Oh, that's his first visit. And he's totaled him, called a total on the black, which I don't think it's hard to get out of. It's probably better off leaving. And obviously Chris is going to give another 2 shots. Chris would actually be better off here instead of leaving distance, probably pushing it right up on top of the yellow.
That's what I would do that.
Yeah, just pushing it,
No,
but he's going to leave distance.
No, actually, no, I don't mind that. I don't mind it either.
Well, yeah, either way, it doesn't matter, but Greg's going to definitely be working on getting that top ball out. Like getting
He's forcing him to do something here.
Oh, it's
that could have been risky.
yeah, I think he wanted heavier contact. Definitely wanted. And Marcus looks like in a fairly good position here. Pot that red and nudge the black over a little bit. Nudge, push the black safe. Unfortunately, that hole's still open on the table with Marcus and Kale
Chris will
for
pop
the yellow.
And bring the white.
All he's got to be careful of here, the worst case scenario is that he leaves the white behind the black and foul snookers.
That's very true, yeah. Even if he does leave the white behind the black, though,
and he's got
he can't just nominate the red because he'll be behind the black.
And he's got to be careful if he drops it in soft because he could nearly foul snooker if he leaves it on the bottom rail.
That's actually a good shot. It's a very good shot.
Well, it is because you've got to extract both.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And trying to extract it from the side from there. I think Greg will try from this position. I don't think it's the right position to try. I don't think it's the right angle to try it from. That's a great shot by Marcus, and he's left it over the hole. Well, I think Kale,
That's a great shot.
That's a great outcome. That is a great outcome. The black is still not easy to get, though.
Pot the 2 yellows and tap up behind it.
Yep, but it leaves it an easy up and down. But in saying an easy up and down, you still then got to pot the black along the rail.
That's very true.
And
I actually like that shot.
yeah, it's a great shot.
That's a great shot.
It's a great shot.
Yeah, no, that's a better shot.
I think Chris will. Oh, I thought Chris would have pushed it.
It's very interesting seeing people's different creative
Yeah, people come up
opinion,
with
different things.
a lot of different ideas. Like most of the time, most of the better players will pick the same ways, but Kale just opened up the hole a little bit further, but I think the black is not on into that hole.
What do you think Greg's going to do here? He's got 2 shots.
I think he's going to face cut it
Yeah,
and go into
smash
the
into
black,
the black.
and
Yeah,
smash it into the
that's
black.
what I would do.
But of course, if he hits it too hard though, the
yellow will come back across.
The yellow will come back across to the red. So he's got to. This is a shot that he has to obviously pace it really.
Has to be perfect, yeah.
Perfect. Kale's played just a containing shot against Marcus. Oh, that's not obviously what he was after. He was after the face cut, but he's obviously hit it too thick. And but I think obviously he's left Chris with a foul snooker. But hey, even this has got its challenges as well. The black's got to come out right. I mean, the balk line's up the other end.
It's not the easiest shot in the
So
world,
it's not, I wouldn't say it's easy. That's a good shot by Marcus. He's just used his red to clear those other yellows, and he's actually had a fantastic result on the other table. I was saying to Rudders before, it's very hard to commentate on two tables, two matches that's coming. Obviously, when one gets into a tactical battle, then you focus on the other table, but it's going to be
you're always sort of focusing on one table, really.
It's going to be a lot easier at 3 o'clock when the final starts, and you only have to focus on one table.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I hope everyone at home enjoying this stream coming to you live from Hobart Workmen's Club. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Specialist Auto Electrics, or Specialist Auto, Hobart Auto, and Sorrel Locksmiths, my company, is sponsoring this
Fantastic company.
Sponsoring this stream today. Must say, Sorrel Locksmith does seem to sponsor all the associations and most of the events.
Ooh.
Oh, that could come not a great result. Is the cut on into the middle? It's very hard to tell from the monitors. I'd like to say hello to Sam Thurgood beside me, the manager of the Hobart Workmen's Club. Obviously, without Sam and Mick Grubb's support, events like these just don't happen. And I'm hoping Sammy's going to join me later on in the commentary with Troy Rudling for the final. Oh, he wants Jacob to come on and do some commentary? He's got his son. Oh, okay. I was wondering why you weren't here playing. But surely someone could look after your boy for 10 minutes while you jump on board. Or maybe he could give us some insight, because I'm sure he wouldn't be too far. Is he on the table at home? That's good. Oh.
Just thought about the safety too much there. He should have just gone for the pot.
Do you think he should have just went for the pot?
I think he just concentrated on the pot. Yeah.
And Marcus has actually brought this game very well. It's Marcus still trailing 4 games to 5, but
Final Four this year's a bit different than last year, isn't it, Jez?
It is different, but like I was saying, I think we've got the best.
Absolutely.
But the Final Four is different. Not really. I mean, Greg Laurie made it last year.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 new.
Look, it's getting better and better, Super League.
Quality's increasing, yeah.
What a fantastic shot by Greg. I mean, hey, this is not an easy shot, but I'd still back Greg. He's good. He's a good rail player. He's just got to be a little bit careful of the in-off over the other side. How you play this, you know, if you play it with top, it definitely will throw it across. He went safe. I was going to say if it went in the middle hole, it'd be very safe.
Yeah.
He won one of his dying frames in the Australian title against Steve Gray by a bit of a double.
Monster shot.
Monster double. You're not afraid of going for a couple of rail double?
3 rail.
Yeah, that was a 3 rail.
3 rail in the Australian final. Great shot.
That's great. Great pot by Skinners.
That's a fantastic pot under pressure.
And see, that time, he just got down.
And just hit it in. Didn't have to worry about safety because it was just the black.
Didn't worry about anything. And
that was a fantastic
And that's
shot.
probably like you said, you alluded to, that let him down that first time. He was worried too much about where the white was going to finish. Finished eating your lunch, mate?
Oh, yeah, mate.
Oh, Ben Smith, our resident chef at the Hobart Workmen's Club, does an absolute fantastic job. The food's amazing. Well, Ben actually left the Hobart Workmen's Club, and they enticed him back by offering him the kitchen as his own. That's how good of a chef he is.
Yep.
So
now Ben's Kitchen.
Now it's called Ben's Kitchen, and it's his own business. So he always that's a dump straight into the middle, Chris. I mean, I'm I thought I was an expert at that last night. I did dump a couple.
You did do? Oh, no.
Unfortunately, 3 of the ones that did go in were kissed off other balls. Didn't have the break go my way.
Yes, they are. Okay.
I only got 11-9. I only got 3 balls off my break.
The whole match?
In the whole match, where
Wow.
I stayed on the table.
Oh.
But 2 of them I ran. so I ran 2 out of 3.
That's a good statistic.
Good statistic, running 2 out of 3, but not good enough when you're playing someone of Marcus's standard.
No, definitely not.
When you're playing someone of Marcus's standard and you're dumping the white. And so you say you dump the white, they've still got to pot all the balls out. And Marcus just played absolutely brilliant. I can't believe I was actually still in the match by dumping that many white balls.
Absolutely,
but when I say dump, like I said, 3 of them were kicked off in.
Bit unlucky.
So, yeah, that's the way it goes. He's played this perfect. Marcus has left a beautiful angle just to run it down the rail and cruise the white across the table for a nice black. Oh, Greg's made this a little. I think Greg was trying to run through.
That's a good shot by Marcus.
Good shot, mate. I like it where people leave angles down rails where they don't have to force them, and the white ball
naturally goes there, yeah.
And the white ball just naturally falls into position.
Marcus there, 5-all.
5-all, Marcus.
Got a good match on our hands here.
Careful of the. Oh, that's.
Black is very unfortunate where that's landed.
He has got the angle here though to pot the yellow if he wants and drift across and try and break it out. Greg is a great exponent of someone that can definitely extract balls, move balls around.
Very good extractor. Loves it.
And Kale's dumped the white straight into the hole. So unfortunately the breaking at the moment is dictating the terms of play. I think he looks like is he just setting this up or is he going to attack? Looks like he's just setting it up. Just setting it up.
Okay. I don't mind it.
Well, look, why that red is tight on top of that black, it's not going anywhere.
It's not highly probable that you're going to be going out from there.
But I don't think Chris is going to be in a position that he's going to attack either at the moment. The balls are here for Marcus. The balls are all there for Marcus to run this rack out. So these tables are actually starting to show a bit of wear on them, Alex.
They're still quite quick, aren't they?
Well, they're level. Wow. They're level and they're playing. I don't think he wanted that outcome.
Did not want that outcome, no.
They're actually level. They're still playing okay. They do have a little bit of issues where people rack the balls, where they've got some track marks on the bottom of the tables. But look, in all, the tables are still running nice.
They're good. They're very good potting tables. They have big pockets.
Yeah, good pockets. And to be fair, the club doesn't want to recloth them
that often
now because they recloth them for the Killer Crossover.
That's fair,
and that's in August, so they don't want to.
Hasn't even been it's been what? 8 months?
So, and these tables get a lot of matches. Just even in Super League alone, I think Greg
they're constantly being played on.
I think Greg worked out how many frames because Greg puts up statistics every week,
which is a very good sheet.
It's a fantastic sheet.
That's very unlucky.
That is
unlucky
to pot the yellow. Yeah, Greg puts up a good statistic sheet, and it means everyone can see everyone and how they played and what their winning percentage is.
It's very detailed.
Kale actually only lost the one match for the whole roster, so he's been very dominative. A few people pushed him. I know yourself pushed him. You took him to 11-9. 11-9. I took him to.
I was 8-2 down.
Yeah, that was great, Kayak. It's a show, and you actually brought the match downstairs.
Brought it upstairs.
Brought it upstairs. Yeah. Nice tables upstairs.
I love the
netted tables.
They're great. They're so
they're brand new. They don't get a lot of use.
Yeah.
And
slidey.
I mean, I pushed Kale to 11-10.
Yeah.
And 11-10, and it was his break in my break in the last, and I broke him open and didn't get a ball off the break, and he potted it. It's unfortunate for Greg, but a good win for Chris. That was a, so Chris is now starting to open up a couple of frame buffer. And Marcus's Cale's game's just been swinging backwards and forwards. Marcus started off with a 3-0, and then Cale brought it back to 3-all. Cale forged ahead, and now Marcus has brought it back. So look, this is virtually what happened. You know, this is what happens in these matches when you're playing these sort of play. You normally find, because of the quality of the players, not one player will run away with a, not one player runs away with a match. You know, because the other players are good enough. I'd love to find out how your father's going down on the bottom table.
I would love to know
like I
as
said to our viewers at home, we didn't deliberately try and line the other table up out the back, but if you're watching at home, you can actually probably work out how what's going on. They play a race to 7 down there, where obviously the top Super League player raced to 11. Best of 21.
Cale's got a nice open table here.
Notice for the last couple of matches against Chris and Greg, they've tied into tactical matches, and it's virtually come down to who makes the mistake at the
very end.
At the end. Like, they haven't been as open and free-flowing as Marcus and Cale's game, and obviously the score line tells you that, because they've only played 6 matches to 10 matches. Cale's got a pretty open table here, and you would suggest that he should finish these.
That's died off.
Don't want to give him I think he's got an off angle to get back onto that yellow, though.
It's actually landed quite perfectly.
No, I don't think he has he?
I think.
Can he roll? I think he's got a bit of an off angle, and I don't think the other yellow goes into the top pocket. It's hard to tell on the monitoring screen, and where we're seated.
It's virtually the same as the monitor.
Yeah, virtually the same as the monitor. So.
Okay, yeah, no, he might not be in a good position here.
Marcus's balls are all sitting there, so he doesn't want, at this stage in the frame, he doesn't want to make a mistake. Ooh. And he has.
Wow, you're right. It was not a good angle.
It wasn't a good angle. I didn't think he had the angle that he could roll through. It must be close. It would have been close. Was he trying to drift across the face to bring it back into the middle then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Is that what the shot he would have been doing? I don't think.
Do you think he's just going to tie up this red a little bit? Tie it up a bit? Yeah. He's trying to sit it on that red, on top of that red.
Without sort of like killing his yellow as well.
Sorry?
Without killing his yellow as well. Yeah.
I think it's virtually given Marcus a couple of free, giving him open shots. Yeah.
I don't think that's quite snookered.
I think it will be, mate.
It's close.
Shame we don't have the above camera for the final. Salty normally has that. I mean, the quality of the stream is getting better and better through Tas Q Sports.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The quality's very good now.
Shame we can't match it with the commentary, but we try. Like we always say, you can turn it down.
I'm an expert commentator, mate.
I believe sometimes, Alex, it actually... what a shot!
Wow!
What a shot!
Oh my!
From thinking that he was
That is the.
From thinking that he was snookered to doing a.
I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say to that. And that.
You know what?
That actually have to be one of the best shots I've seen under pressure, ever.
You know what? I like what he's doing now, and it just shows his professionalism, that he's actually calming down. In other words, he's not letting the shot.
Yeah, no, he's taking his time.
Taking his time.
Reposition himself. Yeah.
There's nothing worse than. Yeah, great out. Yeah, fantastic finish there.
Great out. Now he's Cale's buzzing now. You can see it in him. His face is lit up.
Yeah.
The Christmas tree. It's now 6-5 to Cale.
Absolutely fantastic shot. Cocked hat, doubled it back into the middle, and
Screamer.
and left himself virtually a nice black. So it's good.
No, I don't, mate.
No.
It's all right. The people know it's 6-5. The people know it's 6-5.
We've lost Salty and Troy to the killer crossover meeting. That was a little bit unlucky by Marcus
That's the sort of shot that can just crush your opponent right there.
Yeah, but that was a great break by Marcus, and the white got kissed off into the middle. I mean, so it was.
That is a momentum swing.
I think Greg would prefer to drag some of these matches into a tactical battle.
The old dog tactical tricks.
I think, well, Chris is a phenomenal potter. And,
absolutely,
but so is Greg. But I think Greg can tactically match it with nearly anyone.
Oh yeah, no, the better pace. He didn't have to get a walkover as well.
We'll get these scores updated very shortly.
That is
it's
very fortunate for you.
Very lucky. Very lucky. They call him
He's
lucky
for a reason. Yeah.
Probably not a bad outcome.
That's a very good outcome. Yeah.
I'll see if I can get someone. To give us an update on the Mike Pace and Mike McGlynn score. Could you go and find out for us, please, Sammy? And we'll update Cale and Marcus's. So Sam's now going to walk down.
He's going to get it. He's going to be our scoreboy for us.
Sam, the manager of the Hobart Workmen's Club, put him to
Put him to good work.
It's his day off. He's got his little boy in here today, so he can't do too much other than look after his boy. But he had to walk, so he was in camera.
He wanted to be in camera view.
Just put him in camera view.
4-2 Mike Pace.
4-2 Mike Pace.
Pace is 4-2 up in the B grade
with a race to 7.
Premier League.
Will Mike want to come up into First Division?
No, I don't think he would. I think he's enjoying it. It's a good level for him, I think, in the B grade. Yeah. I think it's a very competitive.
If he does, though, he forfeits, because a part of the prize is your paid entry into First League.
Okay, right.
So if he does forfeit it, that prize money goes towards paying the next person.
You have to ask him. I'm not Mickey Pace, but
I'm hoping he does accept it, because that's what it's designed for.
Yeah.
So whoever wins the first comes up. So if it doesn't, I'm sure he won't mind. But in saying that, he can't stay down in second league anyway.
He can't?
No.
Oh,
once you actually win, you must either come up or not play. Right. We actually discussed
I just think it's a very good competition. But,
I think it'll be good for him anyway. And I think he's actually shown that. Look, I've had many hits over at your place with your father. I know he can play a good game when he wants to. Like when he...
Yeah.
Normally, he plays a good game. You've been using your snooker table much at home, Alex?
I'm about to get back into it before. I've got Oceania coming up in March in the under 21s and the men's. And I'm about to start practicing, getting a bit more of a rhythm. You have to come over for a few hits, mate.
I certainly will. Can you update, please? Oh, no, you already have. Sorry, that's it. And these, Chris and Greg Laurier's game of last few games have been slow because they've gone more tactical. Here. Talking to Tony Cannon, who's doing Andrew Saltmarsh's job.
Tied up as well.
Sorry, Alex, talking over the top of you.
Sorry, mate, what were you saying?
I was just saying Tony Cannon's looking after Salty's job.
Oh, sorry, I'm focusing on the match, so Jeremy.
The match has slowed up a little bit. Can you do me a favour? Can you get that side door locked off so people can't come through it? There you go. Just get the side access door on Cale Barrett and Marcus Jackson's. There's a side access door into the workers. Comes off the alleyway. Not many people use it.
When they do.
But when they do, it's virtually coming straight in onto the table. You can't see it.
They're like stunned.
You can't see it on the screen, but we just don't want people coming through that way. And that is the table the final's going to be played on. So we can cover this one up. And people can come a little bit closer.
Yeah.
You can't see actually how many people, but it's starting to build up. We had about 25 at the start of the day, and it's building up to about 40. Sorry?
On that one?
Yes. Because then we can cover the table that Chris and Greg's on and bring people a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Or do you think we should cover that one and bring everyone around here? We might even do that. But that means they'll be circled. Like circling the wagons.
That's what you want. You want like arena sort of setup.
Well, let's face it, with 8-ball, we're so used to having people close to us while we're playing anyway.
Especially in bigger sort of events, yeah.
Gee, Chris, doing a bit of sitting on the table. Well, they're all there for both players. If Chris can get that red up underneath that yellow, but I don't think he's left.
Sleeve, yeah. I reckon he'll actually, he could even go for the one down the bottom now, and just because the Cale's yellows are all tied up.
I know how Marcus plays, and I'll tell you now, he'll be dropping that one in the bottom.
Yeah.
Chris had 2 shots there, and he probably should have left himself on the side ball to get it up underneath the yellow.
He's just, okay, that's a fortunate result.
Oh, that's a
very
great
fortunate
result.
Yeah. Would not have been ideal if that
well,
went.
You can always say fortunate or unfortunate for Cale.
Unfortunate for Cale, yeah. Depends what side you're on.
I actually knew he would have went that way because I know how he's more comfortable in playing certain shots. Yeah. And I knew he'd be more comfortable because even if he went the other way, it means you would have had to play the one up the side rail with pace.
Yeah.
And sometimes these tables, not so much the one that Chris and Greg's playing on. I think this is unfortunately, they're not.
Fantastic shot.
Yeah, great shot. They look the same tables, but they actually not. I think the one that Chris and Greg are playing on, the pockets are a little bit bigger. And the one that Marcus and Cale are playing on, they're the ones that they just brought last year.
Right, okay.
And they're a little bit tighter. I wouldn't say a lot tighter, but they're like this table one.
They're both quite generous still though. Yeah, but
they still play very generous.
Yeah, very good attacking tables.
Yeah, I quite enjoy playing on the ones upstairs. Obviously being a netted table.
The tables upstairs are like lightning.
Look, if we could, I mean, hindsight's a great thing. And we did think about it for about a split second until we thought about carrying the tables down the stairs. We were actually thinking about, that's a fantastic shot by Marcus. I don't think he's going to try and get close on this. I think he'll be just happy getting it in and getting a couple of inches off the rail.
And also Cale's yellows at the top are a bit tied up as well, so he doesn't have to fear an open table.
I mean, in saying that though, he missed that harder black before. He won't want to miss it again.
No, he'll be taking his time, I think.
That's a great shot by Chris.
That is the shot of that match so far.
The door's locked now. Yeah, thanks very much. I think, has Chris ended up really straight on this, or has he got just enough to punch it in? Will he punch it in and come around 2 rails, Alex, or will he just punch it in and Chris, will he punch it in or just
2 rails?
Or has he got enough just to put a bit of top left on it just to kick it out?
Easy. No.
Yeah, 2 rails. 2 rails. Nice shot.
Yeah, no, that's a great shot.
Nice shot. Chris is so consistent.
Well controlled, very well controlled.
And Marcus has done exactly what I said. I said he just drifted in.
Now he has a big shot here.
It is a big shot because even controlling this, it could come across, and that's a nice finish by Chris.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh,
that's right. Those yellows at the top are still quite tied up.
They're tight, and I can tell you now,
you won't be getting a clean shot at this black, I don't think, if he does get up.
Marcus had to put a lot of work on that black because if he didn't, you didn't want the white. Yeah, you didn't want the white going into those yellows. He's missed a couple of hard blacks now, Marcus. I hope it doesn't play on him. I hope it doesn't play on his mind.
Yeah.
Chris seems to be running away a little bit against Greg.
5-2 is a very nice lead for Chris, yeah, absolutely.
it's good to see. It's good to see a lot of the people that participated in this event in both rosters starting to drift in. Alex.
Yeah, no, we're starting to get some good spectators.
Yeah, starting to get more spectators coming in watching the final of the semi, and obviously the final between the two Mikes.
Mike McGlynn's also had a very good season, actually.
Fantastic.
He's been playing very well lately. Improved out of sight as well.
Would be actually good to get him doing a little bit commentary later on, Mike, because I just love listening to his accent.
No, good accent, hasn't
Great, fantastic. What is it?
Is he South African or something?
No, it's somewhere from the UK, but
okay.
I don't know if it's Scottish or somewhere from there, somewhere over that way. But he's just an interesting man to listen to.
Yeah.
He captains his 8-ball side, so I heard him give a speech here the other week, and that's given Marcus. I'd back Marcus to knock this in because he's given him good distance off the rail.
If he doesn't, he'll be.
I know. He'll be really. Will start effect.
I don't want to talk too loud, so I don't put him off.
Yeah, look. I'll tell you now. He's called timeout because of the table behind.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now. I'm backing Marcus on this one. I don't think you can give him 2 goes.
No.
I know the other one was
This is a must.
The other one's level of difficulty was harder, but this one's a bit easier. But yeah,
knocked it
straight in the middle, and he's very happy. And he's very happy with that.
Now that's another momentum swing right there.
It is a momentum swing because I think Cale thought, I'll give him a chance. I'll open him up. I'll give him a chance. I don't think he wanted to leave him off the rail probably that much, or leave him sitting.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Do you think he tried to run the cue ball through to the top rail to make it a little bit?
I think he tried to split them open while just leaving the white behind one of the yellows.
Greg Laurie's just got himself out of a little bit of a position.
Struggling with position, I think, a bit today.
I think he's struggled most of the match, to be honest. I mean, he's not playing his usual, but I'll tell you now, he won't give up either.
He'll grind it out,
Greg, I've noticed in the last couple of years having hits with Greg, he loses when the final black goes down.
Yeah. Got William Saltmarsh in the commentary box.
Hi.
How are we, mate?
Good.
Future potential state champion.
Yeah.
If he listens
potential? What do you mean potential?
If he listens to his father.
I do.
You do listen to him. That's good. Actually, listen to your father's mate more, Troy Rudders. Actually, no, you can't say that. Your dad, you'd be very proud of your dad last week winning the MVP. He played well, didn't he? Yeah, he won all his matches. Won again.
Lost one.
Did he? He lost one, did he? Yeah.
What on your MVP, mate?
Yeah, I won the Southern Tas MVP, but
it's good.
But all I can say is I say thank you to the Royal Hobart Hospital for some good drugs.
Yeah.
I don't think I think I probably would have gone as well as I did if I had to feel all the pain.
It's just a
great day, and it's respectful for 2 great people that unfortunately lost their lives about 8 years ago, with David and Sharon Smart. But we play a memorial match every year, and in early February, and it's always a good day. I can't remember Southern Tas ever losing to them, unfortunately.
Not since I've ever played in it, no.
Yeah. And the boys come back after having a quick, short toilet break.
6-6.
It's going to be a cracker of a match. It's going to come right down to it. We knew it at the start. I still think the Greg Laurie and Chris Reamer match is still going to. It's going to kick off. I don't think it's going to be a runaway for Chris.
That's a nice shot by Chris there.
Well, the standard that we played last night, I was definitely not riding Jacko off today. I actually, Jacko is definitely, and the thing is, Marcus didn't have a fantastic season. I mean, he's got a lot on his plate as well. Didn't have a great season, but gee, I tell you what, hasn't he come really good in the last few matches of the season? Like, he's dominated most of his matches.
Left himself a nice angle on that bottom red.
Probably really since coming back from stateside, he's played exceptionally well. Played very well. Oh, he hasn't lost since now. Chris Freeman just said he shouldn't be listening. Chris shouldn't be listening to us because that means he can. Well, we're not obviously putting him off because he is leading 5-2. So, well, maybe yeah. It's a little bit hard with. But Chris Freeman.
The commentary box is a bit close, I think.
The commentary box must be close. Chris Freeman's just advised me that
we're too loud.
Marcus, I don't think we're loud, but Chris has just advised me that Marcus hasn't lost since Nationals. That's a good record to have. I actually played one match at home this year because with the Super League, as long as both players are in agreement and you've got a good home table, you can actually play wherever you want in this Super League. You don't have to play at one of the venues that has sponsored us, but both players have to be in agreement. I only played one match at home this year, and that was actually against Chris Freeman.
Home table advantage, mate?
Not really, because Chris spent a lot of time down my place before Nationals. We played a lot of hundreds and hundreds of frames together on my table, and it's actually a national table from the True Line from the 2008 Nationals that were held in Launceston. I didn't play that year, but I went up and brought one of the tables. I think Greg's definitely in a great position here, and he doesn't really want Chris to get any much of a lead than what he has.
5-2 is quite large as it is.
I remember last year being 6-2 down against you in the final, and I was thinking to myself, I don't want to let you. I
remember when I was 6-2 up, and I was just like on top of the world, and you played one of the best blacks I've ever seen along the rail.
Momentum swing.
Oh my God! No, it was a great black. Yeah. Then you went on to win.
That might have still snookered Greg. He's got up and down. Or he could even push the black. I don't think he wants to tie the black up too much closer to his balls, though. I think sometimes if you push blacks too close to your own balls, you just tie your options up yourself too much. But at least what the Super League has done,
it's increased the quality in the South by massively.
And it's got people talking about it. And to be honest with you, a lot of us, because we're booking matches in, we book matches in similar times. Oh, that's a great shot by Greg. Great finish. Good snooker by Chris. Good snooker by Chris, but a good up and down by Greg. Giving the opportunity. Nice out. He needs it. Trails only a couple of frames now to Chris. But getting back to the Super League, it's actually what it has done. It's definitely... Like a lot of us, even after the matches, will sit together and have chats, or even have a bit of a practice, few frames after the matches.
Competition as well.
It's very sociable. And honestly, even last year, not many people talk about the money until really today.
It's not really the focus. It's more the focus just like improving a game, really.
Yeah. And look, even players such as Tim Long, Brendan Garth, the barman here at the Workers. Players like that, they've Tim Long and hasn't had, that's a fantastic break by Greg, hasn't had a great season, right? But he's got a couple of wins, but he's actually picked up so much from the players.
From this season, absolutely.
Tom Fields picked up so much. He's come up from B grade to play A grade this year.
Big step up to Premier League, massive step up.
And all those players have just grown as players. Nigel Barker unfortunately finished on the bottom of the ladder.
Greg Laurie is just nominated reds here. He's only got one sort of complicated red on the rail. How do you think he's going to extract that?
He could possibly actually play it into the rail, into the yellow and down.
Yeah, it could.
But he's got to be careful.
It's a bit open.
He's got to be careful here because the other red down near the pocket's open. He's going to take away that now, or is he going to cover?
Oh, you're going to cover up. Yeah, okay.
I think Greg's got the mindset to drag it into a tactical battle. Which, like I said before, I think it works better against Chris.
Yeah.
Chris is a fantastic momentum player. Once he starts free rolling, he's a real big free roll player. I think that hasn't really achieved much. What Chris just done then. I've got to get rid of the ice. Can't chew on the ice while I'm commentating, mate. It probably doesn't come through very well. I hope everyone home is enjoying the games.
Yeah, I reckon
not every game can be pot outs, can it?
Oh, God.
I mean, it's
depends what the style of match it is, really. Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of people from home want to watch some tight tactical battles.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching. I just finished last weekend the IPA Black Ball World Championships.
Yep.
And their rule sets.
That is just a fantastic shot.
That's a great shot. That is an awesome shot.
That's the shot of the match so far.
See, they're the sort of things that make him get a lot more confident.
You said you said he was a good extractor?
He's a good extractor. So the IPA, the Black Ball IPA, their rule sets are designed to be attacking and aggressive and fast. That's a great shot, Greg. That's a great shot. Greg will no doubt pot the red and put the black away.
This is a great finish by Greg Laurie here.
Great finish. We got to remember he is the current Australian Masters champion.
He's a machine.
Won the Masters Championship in Canberra last
Straight
year.
out.
Lucky's back.
5-4.
5-4. Only trailing by one.
Got two very tight matches.
Like I said to you about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I said,
can't see it being a runaway.
See it run away.
Yeah.
And no one wants to watch a runaway.
Oh, you want a tight match, yeah.
And obviously it's going to start getting louder and louder in here as the afternoon progresses and more people come in. I would love to know what the score is now between Mike McGlynn and Mike Pace. I would say...
It's either 4-3 or 5-2.
I think Mike McGlynn might be coming back a little bit. Both players won't give up. They're die-hard competition players themselves.
Oh, yeah. Dad's got a bit of mongrel in him.
They both have.
Yeah, I don't really know him that well, but yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on here with Kale's frame? Got a bit, what's Kale on? Is he on the reds or the yellows?
I'm sorry, I've been watching.
Yeah, I've been watching this match, yeah.
And obviously both two tactical games that will soon open up. Kale's actually looking at angles to continue to pot and extract, so he's obviously on the yellows.
Yeah, yellows, yeah.
He just wants to come up about a foot. And he got the angle in the middle that he wanted to come down and extract. He can obviously got the angle into the top. But he'd also be thinking, do I have to attack now? Oh, Mike McGlynn just missed the black into the middle.
Mickey
on the top
Pace
table.
is back in it.
Sorry for everyone at home watching. It's hard when there's three tables.
You got to concentrate on the ball, yeah. Oh, he's just 2 shots. Kale has 2 shots.
All right. Thanks very much, Alex, for helping me out, commentating.
Back on to Troy.
And back on to Troy Rudling. Back. Welcome back, Rudders. I hope your killer crossover meeting went well. Missed a few frames. It's been a little bit of, it's turned into a little bit of tactical battle with both tables over the last few frames. Some great, Kale actually a couple of frames back pulled off the pot of the match.
Right.
3-rail position, 3-rail into the middle and got position on the black after nearly a snooker, being snookered. And Greg was 5-3 down, 5-2 down, and fought back to 4-5. So
Beautiful. That's what we want, mate. Nice close ones.
well, that's what I said. I said just before he started fighting back, I didn't think it was going to be a runaway.
Yep.
How did your meeting go with the killer crossover? Any news to share with me or anyone?
Very
or is
well,
it
mate. And you'll
still
be
confidential at the moment?
You'll
or?
be glad to know I haven't had any disclosures put on me, so I'll let you know that the crossover will be locked in for 2018 and also 19 for the Hobart Workmen's Club.
Oh, fantastic.
With the deal locked in place, so that won't change.
Fantastic.
And have no reason to think that it will move afterwards, but it's definitely locked in for the next 2 instalments. So
I'm sure that will make the people that come down and play happy, and it also gives them time. Now, as soon as you open entries, it obviously gives them, they give them 5 months, 6 months to get ready.
yeah, there'll be plenty of time, and we were informed in the meeting that apparently there's a lack of accommodation in Hobart. Like it's dire at the moment with all the tourism and stuff down here. So we'll be stressing when entries do open that people book in straight away, or they're going to be just charged exorbitant amounts for accommodation per night if they don't.
I'm not 100% sure. Is Dark Mofo on before it or around that time?
Not sure, mate. I'm not, but Grubby was saying it'll be ridiculous amounts you'll have to pay for accommodation if you don't book like at least 2-3 months in advance.
I know last year he was in negotiations, Grubby, with the manager from Best Western, which is the hotel complex straight behind the Workmen's Club. It's virtually 2 minutes away. I know they had quite a few players stay there last year.
Yeah, indeed.
I know he was sort of talking to them. No doubt he'll probably talk to them again this year to see if they can arrange
hopefully we can
some
tee
sort of
something up.
package deal, because it's I'd say it'd have to be a well over 100-room hotel.
Oh yeah, that's a big joint. Saldy and I stayed there last year, and I mean,
Nice place.
Yeah, awesome place.
And obviously extremely close.
Yeah.
Kale might have snookered himself a little bit here. I don't think he'd be too pleased with the outcome off that last shot. Oh, well, that's fantastic to hear that news that we're going to have it at the Hobart Workmen's Club for 2 years.
Definitely, mate. It's just a supreme venue. We love it here. The players love it here, and there's no need to change it. So that's that, mate. She's all locked
and the
in.
good thing about it, the committee down here, we're so lucky to have them behind Q Sports. We are, because as you know, committees can change, and then things change. So we're very lucky to have the support from them.
Yeah. No, Grubby and the whole Hobart Workmen's Club committee, mate, they're just fantastic, being right behind the killer crossover.
We'll get a score check update on Mike McGlynn and Mike Pace. Get Sam to go down and
Sammy is not looking happy about having to walk to the other side of the road.
Unfortunately, when you ask Sam to do something, he's actually used to making all the calls. He's used to telling you what to do. But when you get the manager of the Hobart Workmen's Club to go and do stuff for you...
He was 2 inches from your face and trying to ignore you then.
I know, he was one of those. Great. So it's like, I'm normally the boss here. Sam's been manager here now for, must be coming up to 10 years, Hobart Workmen's Club, which is absolutely fantastic effort, because it's never hard working with committees. I mean, it's never hard, never easy working with committees. Oh, this would be a great shot by Marcus.
You can see Sammy there on the right of screen just trudging through the playing area, checking the score for us. Not a care in the world.
That's a great shot by Marcus. This match is going to come right down to the line, Rudders.
Yeah.
Right down the line. Mike Pace is 6-3 up. It's Mike McGlynn. Only requires one more for the victory. Troy? All these balls are nicely placed for Chris Reeman, just a little bit like a practice. And even that red that's sitting over the middle gives him a nice alley for the black, even if he goes that way. Yeah. He doesn't even have to go that way. But it does give him that option that it's a nice big hole. Doesn't mind a Jackie, Chris. Or a cannon, whichever way you want to call it.
He doesn't have too much trouble with anything. No. Old Skinners. He's beautiful course, great player.
Oh,
love watching him play.
Greg's definitely tried to promote this match into a tactical battle. I mean, obviously Chris is they're both great potters, but Chris is such a free-flowing player that you don't want to give him that opportunity to open up. I think he's probably lucky he doesn't have to do a lot of work here on the black, because his position on this is not
a little bit of angle. Well, he's unlucky. He's landed absolutely dead.
He's dead straight,
isn't he?
Dead straight. But he doesn't. He only has to pop this off the red. Yeah, he's just going to utilise what I said before, the red into the middle.
Yeah.
The red's actually sat there beautiful. The only mistake you can do here is actually miss both. Go right between them and hit the far jaw. Yeah, hit the jaw.
That's easy enough to do too. You just don't even think about it. You think this is in, and how often do you just hit that jaw and pop back out? Or
it can happen in this case, but I doubt it.
You just got to make sure you hit the red, don't you? Like,
if you look anything other than centre on the red, and it's going in. Yep. Nice shot.
Beautifully played.
Nice shot. I don't think he didn't ferry it. He give it a bit of pace.
Yep.
So that gives a couple of frame buffer now to Chris Reeman. Ooh. Marcus Jackson is 7-6 up on Kale now, and Andrew Saltmaster's just about to adjust the scores, bring them up to date.
So Kale's on the reds over here, is he, mate?
Yeah, and they're all there for him.
Looking pretty.
They've just struggled a little bit on whoever's attacked first, they've just struggled a little bit on finishing them.
Yep.
And then they've turned into a bit of a...
I've played on these tables a little bit as well. They're pretty conducive to attacking pool, aren't they? They're pretty
100%,
receptive.
But things have been going wrong like that.
Yeah.
Where they've been going around and snooking themselves. And
that's, do you reckon you're putting it down to just that little bit of pressure? I
don't know it's about pressure. It's just about the run of the ball. You know, any other time that runs around and it's half ball on that. Yellow. Yes, it is updated. It is correct. No, this one. This one. Marcus 7. Little things like that has been happening to Kale, but it's also been happening to Marcus as well. Like we were saying before, we'd all love to see run-outs, but it just doesn't happen all the time.
It doesn't, no.
Oh. It's a fair shot, but it's probably not the outcome. He would have rather it stay near the hole.
Yeah, correct. Just killed it a little bit, and Skinners has got a multitude of options.
Skinners or Marcus?
Sorry. Jacko. Marcus.
Most people that would be watching it today would understand the nicknames we use for everyone.
Yeah.
Jacko's pretty obvious with Jackson. Lucky's not obvious, but it's just been his nickname for a long time.
Everyone knows the Australian champ anyway, mate.
Skinners is, we won't go there. And we won't talk about Kale's nickname either because it's a bit personal, but...
Which one? BD or...?
Big. Big dog. I don't think he'd be too upset. Do you think Kale will go for the attacking shot here? I think he's got nothing to lose.
definitely. That red goes under the yellow, he's going to be developing the other one.
He can either go two ways. He can soft screw it. This is going to be a great finish by Greg. This is just a pop it out into the middle, and
he's looking at his angle here.
It's
going to be. He's going to need a little bit of luck as well. Like you're popping that red.
You can also look at this. You can actually slow drag it and pull it off the side rail. You can pull it off the side rail and back into the red. Do you know what I mean?
Kick it over towards the hole.
Yeah, and kick the red
hole.
across. Yeah, but I think he's going into it. He's going into it.
So I don't see what advantage
that was half and half.
Yeah.
He was half committed to that.
Yep. He needed to fully commit and really develop that other ball if you're going to play it. Because even if that red went, he was still
the red. Yeah, the Mike Pace is lining up the black for the game. Which, if we stay on this camera shot, we'll get a nice clear view of it. Yeah, I just don't think he committed 100% to doing one or the other.
No.
Chris has been unlucky for the white to be kicked in, or did he dump it straight in the hole?
Wasn't watching that table. Sorry, mate.
It's too much to watch at the moment.
Yeah.
I think Marcus is out here, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of the way, boys, so we can watch Mike Pace knock this
up.
black in for the win. Well done, Mike Pace.
Mike Pace takes out
Mike Pace takes the second tier grand final of the Southern Tasmanian Super League.
Congratulations, Mike.
Commiserations to Mike McGlynn. But they both had great seasons. I think the favourite for today was definitely Nick Evans, but unfortunately didn't come through, and Mike Prevasis prevailed.
Yeah.
Marcus Jackson, it's getting to the later stage of the match now, Rudders, and
8-6 it will be. If he gets there, it'll be very, very handy.
Greg Laurie just is not going away from Chris.
You just got to hang on those coattails sometimes, don't you? And then, some little things can change, and all of a sudden you're right back in it.
Just even a good pot. Hold on. Just even a good pot, will turn the tide sometimes.
Yep.
I always said Greg over the last couple of years has developed a really strong mental game, and he does not give up until the last black ball goes down. I mean, so do all these players.
Yeah.
None of these players will give up. And that's a good thing about having races best of 21. It actually, it's definitely helped our stateside last year. It helped our stateside a bit, even though not many of our players, other than Marcus Jackson, went deep in the Australian singles. But I do think it's actually helped our guys. Well, actually, it's brought us a lot closer as a team. Hopefully, we're welcoming you back into the stateside again this year, Troy.
Anything's possible, mate. Anything's possible.
Well,
I'm enjoying my 8 ball now more than I ever have. Don't put in the time anymore. I got rid of my table, but I think I'm playing better than I was actually. I've played a few matches recently and just been free flowing, having a good time, and you
got rid of your table, but is it still available to you, or
no? Sold it to just
random person.
Just a random, yeah.
And you're people don't realise you're selling a few things because you're moving.
I am indeed, yeah. The house will be gone very shortly, and on the move. So that's why the table went. And
townhouse or a town unit or something.
A unit of some description in the CBD in Launceston's what we'll be doing.
You're struggle to understand this because you're lucky enough to have had your children young.
Yeah.
Gives you the opportunity. You don't need, I suppose, a large family home anymore.
That's right, mate.
Just want room for your probably a sports bar or something.
The grandkids can always have to come round now. So
True,
you've got to have a bit of room for them.
So you will get another table, do you think?
It's possible, but if I'm in town and the Workman's Club will always just be down the road, so I might not have the need for it. But
and playing a lot more snooker. I mean, you only took snooker a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But I heard that you're going over represent Tasmania next week.
Yeah, got an invite next weekend. Be going over to the Brunswick Club in Victoria and having a game there. So
Yeah.
just a bit of fun for me though. I don't take it serious. So just enjoy it like I am with my 8 ball
Yeah.
now. So it'd be good fun.
But for someone that's only taken it up in the last couple of years, you've still had some small, like, good success.
Yeah,
Some good success. in
yeah,
it.
definitely.
And competitive. And congratulations on bringing up your 300 cricket match this year.
300 games for the Perth Cricket Club. Yeah,
Thanks for the Longford Cricket Club.
Perth.
Hey, how many?
Perth.
Perth. How many football games are you up to?
I haven't played for a couple of years now, but I played about maybe 250 or 260
Yeah.
games for Perth in the footy as well. So yeah.
So what we're saying, sportsman all round.
Yeah, well, that means you've wasted a lot of sad days, mate. That's what that means.
That means you've nearly worn your body out, and you should stick to Q sports more.
Correct. Yeah, the old back feels it nowadays, mate.
Chris is, they're all there for Chris, and he loves balls off, so I think there's enough room underneath that black for that red to go, but he just wants a nice angle to stun it back for the red, either in the top or in the middle.
He's having a look at it now, and he looks reasonably.
So he just wants the right angle. He wants to make it as easy as possible as he can.
Yeah, the thing if he drops that first red in, he's on the wrong angle out for the other red, isn't he?
Soft weighting balls. Look, even if the worst case scenario he rolled through too far, he could then play it up into him to extract everything out nicely. So
yeah,
he's nice.
There was
He's
a
just
huge gap there. I thought it was tighter than that. I thought he had like half a bag or something.
Yeah, this is all pretty clinical. Either go forward really here, but if he goes forward, he'll have to travel. But he's just going to stun it back. He's got more angle. This must be. He's got to do a little tap screw here to hold it underneath.
Even if he comes back into the rail, it's not going to, you're better going too far than not far enough in and out than just to the rail.
He loves soft rolling into position.
Yep.
Sometimes that brings him undone a little bit sometimes,
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Perfect.
You're right, yeah, and that's
Right.
exactly where he had his hand.
So he's pushed his lead out again to 2 frames. I mean, it's starting to get ominous. Greg Laurie seems to catch up.
Yeah.
Chris seems to then push away.
Push away again, yep. The alarm bells won't be ringing just yet. I mean, there's still a ways to go, so.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to get it for me. Good bloke.
I better drink up. I wonder if he'll be as happy to buy schooners.
He's good bloke, Bruiser. Bruce Lockley, he's another, and Bart's come down as well. So we've got a few of you boys down from Lonnie, Launceston and Northwest. It's great to see, and the interest shown from the Launceston boys in this league has been good as well. But it's also with us, with you guys as well, with your Lightning Quick series.
Correct.
Lightning Quick series up in Launceston. We tend to keep an eye on you guys up there and see how you guys are going.
Yeah, so you guys commenting on our page, and liking it as we do with yours. And I mean, everyone in the whole state wants to improve. It's not about north, south, anything like that anymore. It's about the betterment of the game across the state, which it always should be.
That's why I was saying to Alex earlier, no one really talks about the money until virtually today. Until today, people then think, oh, there's money up for grabs.
Yep.
Because the money hasn't been the main driver of the competition. And I was also saying players like Tim Long that's here today, and Chelsea and players, and even young Brendan behind the bar, players that have finished that haven't qualified for next season. they've still got something out of it. They've still got a lot of benefit from playing in it.
Oh, it's invaluable, the practice that these players will be getting.
And they don't normally get to play against some of us guys.
Yep.
Like some of them don't get to play, and especially, cheers, mate. So they've actually grabbed it with both hands. He's finished a little bit different here. Oh, watch the black. Yeah. I think, has he given Kale the angle to drop the yellow in and get behind the...
I think that's what he was looking at. He's not happy. I think he's left him a good angle to stun down.
Kale looks like he has to pinch the middle hole, I think, here. It's hard for us to tell.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's obviously got the angle. Do you think he's going to have to jump it a bit?
The way Jacko stood behind the white and was looking at it, I think he's left him an angle, a reasonable angle.
I think he's going to have to do a little bit of a punch run through here, though. I don't think he's got the angle just to drift it. This looks like a bit of a punch. But mind you, he's a good, clean, curious Kale. Yeah, punched it. It's not bad. Yeah, it's good effort. Good effort. You'd back Kale to... And even if it sits over the hole, it's...
Yeah, I'm not sure why Jacko played it so hard. I think thought he would have just pushed the yellow over a little bit, popped the red out off the rail a bit. Both his yellows were then dead, sort of thing.
It's a steal.
Yeah.
It's a steal because that would have put immense pressure on Kale. Now it scores only 1 frame the difference, with Marcus still leading 8 frames to 6. But that would have, if it was 9 frames to 6, that would have 8 frames. Sorry, 8 frames to 7. If it was 9 frames to 6, that would have put a lot of pressure.
Yes, Jacko would have really liked that one. Jacko's dumped the white there off the manager, break, so Kale will have first choice here, and it's not the easiest looking table, but you'd definitely be happy with white in hand to take control at least.
I think he'll be going reds though, even though I think he'll be going reds because I think he got more advantage to create something. And that yellow on the right hand side near the pocket does not drop into the middle. It's right on the curvature of the pocket. I don't think it goes. Would you say it goes? No,
definitely not. Definitely does not go.
Oh, Chris has just made a
little blunder over there.
Blunder. I think red's ball's the way, but look, I don't think this is an out unless he creates and moves a lot of balls.
He's gone the yellow.
Sorry?
He's gone the yellow, Kale.
He's gone the reds.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jacko must have potted her.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just covering up now.
Yeah.
This, he didn't play that at all he did not play at all to pop that. He would have liked it over the hole a bit better, but he didn't play.
It doesn't leave many options here for Jacko, does it?
And the yellow's just not nice. Because I don't even think he can't even roll that yellow that's near the middle hole down the rail either.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't go down. The only thing he can do is really chip it out.
Whatever he moves here, he's going to be opening the frame right up for Kale. It's like it's a clever shot.
Yeah, it's a great shot by Kale. Can Marcus push that yellow down under that the one looking at the table now, the one above the white, down under the red up the top?
Go cushion first off the red and possibly
must
get
have been
the
touch and ball. Must have been touch and ball because he's gone onto the side rail and back out. Containing shot for now, but doesn't really progress his course.
I tell you what, he was lucky it was touching because he was in a pickle there if he had to play into those balls and move them.
Not 100% sure if Greg has still got 2 visits because I've been watching Kale and Marcus play, but
yeah, not sure.
That was a great shot the way Greg just played that.
I think Jacko's best chance here at the minute is to get a yellow up over that top right-hand corner there and get a bit of coverage on that red, because he's still well and truly behind in this frame at the minute.
So Greg didn't have the 2 shots. He's elected to cover up. Well, it looks like both these matches could finish at similar times.
Oh, Jacko.
Great shot.
That is a huge shot.
Actually, that's given him an opportunity now to go game.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually where he didn't have one, because that ball that was near the middle hole was really a dead ball.
Yeah.
Now he's actually promoted.
He just got rid of his 2 hardest balls on the table.
Just in one shot.
One shot where I didn't think it was even possible.
Yeah, I know. Which is always great to see. It's great. And then now he's in a prime position to at least either run them out or put himself into a winning position to take control of the frame. Great effort. Oh, Chris. It's just a few little mistakes creeping into Chris's game at the moment. Very pivotal matches now between Marcus and Kale. We're coming to the pointy end of the... Once you get up around those 8s and 9s, you know you're only, obviously in Marcus's case, 3 frames away. So we're starting. Is that black on in between those 2 reds? And the way he played that tells me it is. Do you know what I mean?
It must go very close, yeah. Just even looking at it on the
just by the way he played them, just because he's played it to drop this one down, dead weight in case it doesn't go. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
He didn't dead weight it. It must go, or he wouldn't have played that way. But is it tight? Well, I can't believe he's
looked at it for about 0.1 of a second. Yeah, but it's going to go.
He looked at it earlier in the out.
Yeah.
He looked at it earlier. This has been an absolute... If this black goes, this has been probably one of the better outs of the match. Like you said, that one shot opened everything.
Yep.
And then they still weren't give-me's, but...
he's worked around them very nicely.
That is a fantastic out. Well done, Marcus Jackson. 9 frames to 7. Kale has gone for a toilet break, so is Marcus.
Tell you what, with that little shot he played in the last frame before that one as well, he could have really been 10-7.
Well, we spoke about nicknames before, me and Troy Rudders, and we said we won't discuss Kale's nickname. In saying that, he does love a toilet trip, Kale. Like when he plays matches, he does go to the toilet quite, but I think it's more hair related. The tidy and... I was going to say something back to that, Sam, but I just thought we do have a lot of children. We sometimes have a lot of children watching this, so I won't. I'll keep it just G. And that's what sometimes people forget these days. That is not what he wanted. It's left at a finer angle now to pull the black up. That was a bad.
It's not ideal, but I think he'll still be fine. Yeah,
I think he can hold it still.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say about Chris, he doesn't have to have perfect position. He can still pot a ball. If it wasn't so hard on the braille, he'd even contemplate going up and down. If it wasn't so.
I like to play these with just a bit of left-hand side, so it actually takes it to the other rail and it doesn't check it, but it takes it at the angle.
That's what he did, but he collected the rail first and it squeezed the ball. Squeeze the
You
red.
just got to allow that little bit of throw. But yeah, I think it's an easier shot if you're queuing, you know.
Just watch the middle here, Greg. Watch the middle. Oh no. Watch the snooker. It's a little bit of a poor shot there by Greg, but I think he'll get away with it. Not too far. Yeah, this shot here, this angle here goes towards the top pocket. Pull up. Pull up. It's always a danger when you know you've got that direct angle towards the top hole. I mean, really, him snookering himself on that ball was a little bit lazy for Greg.
Yep, for sure.
But it brings it back close again to one frame. Greg's just struggling to get that back to that even and start storming ahead. Back to the Marcus and Kale's match, which is getting very down to
I think
it.
that bottom yellow, he'll still be able to dig it and pot it.
No, I'm sitting right behind it and I don't think it does. Yes, he did. And the white ball was tracking towards the top pocket like we thought it would. Kale's in a bit of a situation here because if he doesn't do something by just pushing that yellow down, it doesn't cover any pockets that Jacko needs.
That's right.
So there's a lot of pressure being put on just this pot alone.
What about the top one of the two yellows? Do you reckon he can jack up and pop that to the middle
I
pocket?
just think he's trying to sit underneath this red down the bottom, off the bottom rail. No? He wanted coverage. He wanted coverage bad.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad...
That was a good idea. But
he wanted coverage bad over that hole.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, 3 balls go into that hole, even the black, so... Greg.
Didn't see the beginning of that shot, but looked like a bit of a Hail Mary.
It
It
didn't have to be, but it's a bit hard to say Greg stood up on the shot because it already starts half
He's
up.
already standing up.
Already hits
That's
it
effective
standing.
for him though.
Do you know what? We've got so many of these young kids now that he's the Australian champion saying, you sure our technique's right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a bigger bloke, but I still get down on the shots. But I'm starting to think to myself, maybe I should be standing up a bit more.
I remember when I was a young lad and the Blob was playing up in Launceston.
Yeah.
I was watching my stepfather play, and he stood up as well. But he'd slam them in from everywhere. I was like, you know, everyone else is laying down on their cue, and this bloke's standing up. He's better than all of them. Just slamming them in from everywhere, all angles.
And you know what? In the there's players in the American game of pool over history that have stood up. I mean, you'll never see a snooker player stand up on the shots.
Yeah.
But 8 ball gives you probably that little bit more freedom, like accuracy. That's a great shot. Great shot by Greg.
That's very clever. I don't know whether that's
was it intentional?
it's intentional, but it's very effective.
Yeah, but yeah, I've probably known Blob a little bit. Jeffrey Yuled a little bit longer than you. Probably not much longer than you actually though. But yeah, he's. I remember one of the first times I met Jeff was quite funny. Was playing in the state tryouts, and they were at the back of the Mowbray Hotel up in Launceston.
Yep.
And KFC was straight across the road from it, and people used to say to me, "Be careful, because Jeff Blob will come up and just help himself." And I remember him walking along the tables, looking at everyone's lunch along the tables, and he got to mine, and I didn't know him that well, and he grabbed a chip out of my box, my lunch box, from KFC, and I stabbed him in the back of the hand with a plastic fork.
He didn't do that again?
No, he never took any food from me ever again. I mean, I'm not fading away to a small mountain, but I taught him a lesson not to touch my food. Yeah. Well, certainly you could get someone else, but yeah, I'll watch it.
Jez is just going to adjudicate. Poach the commentator.
No, that was fair. No, that was fair. Great shot. Great shot. Definitely turned that ball over well. That was actually a lot harder than what it looked, and he actually played it absolutely beautiful. That's actually a shot that I struggle with, turning him.
Yeah.
Like turning him like that.
Great shot to have in the repertoire, though.
Oh, great shot to have, but no good at him. Not many people
are.
You
flick him round like an inch or two, like you get that perfect spot.
Oh. I look at it, and especially how it's dangerous in this part of the game doing it.
Yeah. Only got it cured a little bit wrong, hit that other ball first, and it's frame over, isn't it?
It is, and I'm not sure how he's left himself here. He obviously has to come back past that yellow that he's closest to, or does he? Or he'll be nearly in the same situation. Do you know what I mean? Actually, it's closer. No, he should be fine. I'm glad that when he asked me to adjudicate that shot, that's a great shot. I'm glad when he asked me to adjudicate that shot, Cale gave him the thumbs up as soon as he played it, which I thought it was fair straight away as well.
Yeah, look fair. Yeah, definitely fair.
That's great. Marcus Jackson's on the hill against Cale, and the way Marcus is playing, like I said earlier on in this match, Marcus is probably playing since the Nationals some of his best 8-ball, and for a guy that's doing a degree at uni and 2 jobs and lives at Cygnet, so doesn't get up into town as much as he could, he's doing a fantastic job. But he's one of those cool, calm, collective people. You're nothing.
Not too much fusses him, does it?
Not fusses
Just
him.
takes it in his stride.
Yeah.
Good lad.
Carly's missus at home, hopefully he's watching. I don't know how much she likes 8-ball. Probably taken a partner away playing it a lot. She probably doesn't like 8-ball like some of our partners don't. But I'd say she'd be fairly supportive of him.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, he's definitely not out of this. You've seen Cale wind off, 4 or 5 frames in a row many times.
Definitely. But I can tell you now, if this drops in the middle and that Jackie's on up the top.
Looks pretty set, doesn't it?
This red is just on near this yellow down the bottom if he creates the right angle. And I think you'll get the angle from potting this into the middle.
His problem is that red ball over the right centre pocket. Like his angle out away from that is no good, or to get back on it off anything.
Yeah, but if that if that dropped, he could then take the yellow then off it with a bit of a stun back 6 inches, and he would have been on it. But then it's getting back down onto the black. Cale's got a bit of work to do, but yeah, like you said, you never ride Cale off anything.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah, finals are a funny thing, aren't they, Troy? I mean, here's Cale. He went, Cale's gone virtually undefeated for the whole tournament. A few players pushed him. That's a great finish by Greg Laurie. And Greg's back, hopefully, even.
7 all. Don't know if Jacko got a look at that ball to the left middle there, you reckon? Or? No, he's taking the plant on.
Well done to Greg Laurie. Oh, that's great shot.
Oh.
Gee, I'll tell you what, he could even run it down now.
He's just landed perfect on that up the rail.
Well, and I think the black's onto the right-hand side now if he gets the right angle on that red.
Yeah.
Right.
Greg Laurie's position.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just commenting on that, how well he's playing now. I'm very biased when it comes to Greg because he's my main practice partner.
Oh, yeah,
so
definitely.
I love seeing Greg do well at everything he plays in. Even when we're having a hit at home, we want each other. He's actually fat on that bottom one now. And from that bottom one, he'll stun back, like I said earlier, a couple of inches, have the one in the middle, and then the other one the other side. Yep. And I think Cale was more upset because he opened up the black to the other corner. This could be the end of the match if the next 4 balls go Right. This is close though. Oh. He's played that well. He's actually played that well. As long as it's not touching ball. It's not touching ball.
Yeah, you
He's
can jack
played
up
that
a
well.
bit and just pop out of it.
You can nearly push it. Nearly push it. Don't
You could push the white ball in with it though.
No, push it from an angle so
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
follow it.
Yeah.
Push
Hey,
it
Bush.
push it from an
Very
angle.
well from Ace Hardy.
I'll give it to you, mate.
7-all over there. 7-all with Greg and Chris. I tell you what, he's played extremely well. Does he? Because he's got the angle he's contemplating now, sucking down and just hitting into that yellow down the rail.
So we're now saying it doesn't go to that corner?
No, it does go to that corner, but it's tight. All I'm saying is, does he make it a bit easier? Does he make it a little bit easier by sucking down? It doesn't go. Oh wow, it didn't go to that corner. Oh, he's played a great shot there. It didn't. I tell you what, he's got to be very careful of this yellow. Oh yeah,
corner.
It's actually on, and he knows it's on. And the double's taken away because of the yellow on the rail, I think.
I reckon he can go under that yellow for the double.
That black goes past that yellow, so I don't understand that shot.
The black did go past that yellow, yeah. And that's what I said earlier. But what did he have? Only half pocket? Half pocket? Minimum half pocket? I can't understand why he didn't do it then. I can't understand why he didn't use the one standing off the middle and going, look, this is eel pot, this. Oh, bang, foul. We knew it was close. And now it's 10-8.
That's the thing. Is you screw back another inch there, inch and a half, and that cannon, the yellow's not on. It's just Carlton draft.
Do you believe?
Carlton draft?
Do you believe he could have dead? It didn't look like he could dead weight it because
No.
they both fell in on a dead weight shot.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Marcus is just saying he wasn't comfortable with the half pocket he had on the bottom right hand side.
And what he's saying is right. If he had to screw it back
He would've got a full
correctly,
pocket.
he had a big area to land in. He had a full pocket
Yeah.
to the middle. Right.
He's still in a commanding position in the match, but we always talk about turning points. And let's face it, if he got it, we wouldn't be talking about turning points. We'd be talking about Marcus Jackson being in the final.
But if he doesn't get up, we will be talking about that.
Yes. Well, the half pocket roll. These are still generous pockets. You play it. A half pocket is not a half pocket. You might as well say you got 3/4 of a pocket, haven't you? Because if you use the corner of the jaw, it's gonna. If it doesn't pop, it's gonna sit.
Tell you what, if he's on one here, he'll go okay.
Great shot by Greg. I do not believe Greg can get through that. That is not okay. But
Can't compress the cushion.
can't compress the cushion and can't shrink the white ball. Watching all these people around enjoying themselves having a beer is a bit depressing.
Yeah, us commentators, mate, just have to stay off the sherbies.
This with a massive follow-through screw back.
Watch. Greg's asked us to watch it, but look, this is foul.
Foul, Greg.
Just a foul. At least he's taken it in good jest. But in saying that, at 7-all, you don't want to. As Cale's taking his time on deciding what he wants to go. Still debating.
Weighing up here.
And we were talking earlier with Alex regarding the time or was I talking with you regarding the time we forced people to play?
Yeah, that was me.
2020,
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier on. Yeah.
And look, having people take their time over this when it's important, I think it's good.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing. I don't see anything wrong with it at all.
Well, let's face it, our cow cutters that are around, our cow cutters aren't timed.
Yep.
In saying that, I do remember a time when I played you in a cow cutter at Longford. I did upset you by saying, how come you want to play so slow?
Yes, that cow cutter hadn't been timed the whole week, the whole day, and come semi-final, I think it was, you decided you were going to start calling time on me under your breath. I was a little disgruntled about that. You are right.
Yes, I know you were. But probably shouldn't have brought it up, but we still love each other.
We do. Once again, you got the win.
Yeah. I actually went back and looked at it. And he time fouled 3 times in one frame.
That was before 2020.
Yeah, and that actually was, yeah. Marcus is in the, well, obviously, what do you think here? 2 shots, Marcus. Ball's in the open. Troy, little bit out of position here. I'm sure he didn't want to be exactly there.
What, has he got 2 shots?
He's got 2 shots. Carl went in off.
Oh.
Should be over. But he's really ran himself. He's really actually ran himself badly. A good finish there by Chris, but with 2 shots, Chris is a machine. I think Lucky knew if he give him 2 shots then he wasn't going to. Needs an outcome. Well, all he's got to do now is just make sure he comes out to be on that one on the side.
I think, do you reckon he'll go through the gap, the 2 yellows? I think it's pretty natural.
If he does it naturally, he'll probably come back and hit that yellow. Yeah, so he's got to put it just a little bit. He's going this way. I'm not a fan of this.
Tell you what.
Not a fan of this. Not a fan at all. He's snookered himself. Still got 2 shots. But I wasn't a fan of that. You?
Definitely
not.
Go the other way, a little bit aside. You know, even if you clip the bottom yellow just slightly, it doesn't really matter too much. You're still going up the right way. As long as you miss the top of those 2 yellows, you're on the red.
What's he doing here? Does he want to hit it thin so he flicks it up high? Like play it off the bottom rail thin? It looks like he's coming in behind it. Oh, he was on it. Sorry. He was on it. Oh.
Not a good angle either.
What do you do here? Rip it? Punch it and rip it? He's got enough room between the white ball and the rail to rip it. You can't punch this in with a bit of left.
No.
If you haven't got the angle to punch it in with a bit of left to bounce it off the rail out, I think it's too straight for that. I think he's actually got to rip it. Jack it up and rip it.
We know he can do that.
He's done it. Beautiful. Absolutely perfect. Well, he's only just done it beautiful, but it's frame. And this is for the match. Well done. Well done, Marcus Jackson. Marcus Jackson defeated Cale Barrett 11 frames to 8.
Good win.
And Marcus Jackson still hasn't lost a Super League match since the Nationals.
Since the Nationals, yeah, correct.
Does that mean he
lost
probably
6
will go in
before it.
favourite?
Is that right? He was
He
telling me earlier,
lost
I think
a 5, I think.
5 or
yeah.
something of his first
5.
6.
He actually, out of all the 4 finalists today, he qualified the lowest.
That's a great effort.
And he's had close matches. He's had close matches, but he's always prevailed. And honestly, it's just making it look like it's going to be a cracker of a final. I still don't believe this game's over yet, though. There's a lot to be left in the Lucky and Forsyth match. Oh, sorry, Chris Riemann match.
Well, we are still here, guys. We're just taking in that first match, and a couple of congratulations going around for Jacko. Lucky and Chris Skinners are still right in it here. Yeah, it could go either way. Tight tussle.
Great day for 8 ball in
Looking
Tasmania.
like going 8-all. I'd back Lucky to get these from here.
I think you would have rather got down on those bottom two and cruise them in and had this one here to just pop the middle one
coming
in.
down for the bottom one now, I reckon. Won't he first and then just sneak back up for the one above it?
That's a beautiful angle just to roll through.
Yeah.
Roll, pop it through, drop it in. I see this match going 10-all. It's going to be a cliffhanger.
Yep.
This one. Yeah, you chopped a few up, but all in all, the games were. You'll probably watch it later on.
That one when Kershaw got the yellows out and then went game, that was a big one. Missed a shot.
I like how you started your match today, exactly like ours yesterday. Yeah. He dumps the white, you run the ruck. You must have been thinking, Javu. Yeah, well done. Congratulations.
Jeremy's just having a side conversation here with the winner of
Jacko.
The other semi-final.
Probably can't hear Jacko's comments, but you can hear mine. That's amazing.
Probably should have given him my headset so we could have a little interview there.
Oh, that is a great shot by Lucky.
Lucky's run them out nicely.
You always find when you put a bit of check on them like that, they're hitting them comfortable. Yeah. Like if Kewis, I was watching Greg play Ant a few frames, and I didn't watch the whole match, but when I was watching him play Ant, when you see them checking balls off side rails and that, you know they feel comfortable in their own game, and you get to read how people are playing.
Yep.
And that brings Greg back to 8-all.
8-all.
With Greg DeBrake, I don't think has there been any off the snaps. I don't think they have. I think most of them have been.
I was gone for a while, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen one. Which is very surprising with caliber of player we've got out here.
Yeah.
That'd be unheard of in a couple of race to 11, so you don't see one.
Look, they're I can tell you now, through most of the ones that I've been involved in, each player has been at least doing 2 to 3 to 4, even if it's just a reverse snap.
Yeah.
Greg looks like his tail might be wagging a little bit now. He's looking pretty focused.
He's got a little in or over shot here. I don't think he'll be trying too much.
Why that red ball's married to the top of that black. Good shot. Good shot. Restricts.
Didn't quite get the coverage he wanted on the pocket, but yeah.
Does restrict Chris's options. Both pockets down the bottom aren't covered.
If Chris can sneak between the two reds here, I think he might play the bottom of those two yellows at the rail and just
drop it down.
It'll just hinder Lucky, I reckon. I don't think. Oh no, he's not playing it. He's gone the very attacking way there, and I think it's come out too bad, really. It's got a bit lucky.
It's good to see a little boys up the back having a hit on one of the spare tables.
Yeah.
You know, future Tassie players, hopefully. We that's one good thing about our clubs down here. We do encourage, in a lot of places, they don't like the kids getting on the pool or snooker tables. But here we've always encouraged them to have a go.
Yeah.
A lot of people have the old fallacy idea that kids rip cloths, but I've never seen it in all my time.
Never.
Yes. Alex. Can you get Alex too? Just a reminder, everyone, if they're actually playing in the state doubles, because Tony just reminded me to get my name in with my partner, Alex Pace again. Can you get your names in? Is there any entries so far, Tony? 12 entry.
I tell you, there's a bit of a problem with the state doubles this year. When Jeremy gets back here, we'll have a talk about it.
Yeah.
For some reason this year they've moved it, and myself and my doubles partner from last year play cricket, and for some reason they've moved it back to earlier in the year, and now it's during the finals period of our cricket season. So it's
Is
just,
there a reason why
I have
they
no
changed?
idea, and it's
You're
obviously
normally in the know.
Yeah.
Because being with Salty.
I think it's a little ridiculous, really. I don't know if they've got a reason or they've just done it for no reason whatsoever. But
is it because in the actual state calendar it's a little bit freer?
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure. But anyway, it's not ideal for us, and we won't know for another couple of weeks whether we can play or not. Because if we're still alive in the finals, we can't play. So
Who did you play with last year?
John O. Jenkins, and he
Good
plays
player.
for Cressy in the TCL, and I play for Perth. So
Yes.
we're in the same comp and in the same final series.
Okay.
So if our finals are still going for our cricket teams, we just can't play in state doubles. So
Yeah.
we've played all year, cricket.
It seems strange because Kale and Bruce Lockley, who's the current state double champion, they're really only state double champions for not even 6 months, which is not a bad thing. And it'd be good to see Kale again play with Bruce, seeing that Bruce did carry him through to a victory last year in the final. Well, he did. He ran out the last rack quite nicely.
Old Bruiser.
Old
The
Bruiser.
cagey old wily Bruiser.
Oh, well. Been around a long time. Oh, Bruce had a good nationals actually. Bruce this year again. He seems to when he goes to nationals, he definitely grows that other leg.
Yeah, he's been doing it a long time, and he just he gets the job done.
He's probably one of our longest nationals. Probably one of our longest Masters players in the nationals.
Yeah. Yep.
Obviously not in the Open, but he's participated in quite a few Open teams as well. As we've gone into another tactical battle between these two, which the match has virtually been most of the match. This frame's been.
Things will start to tighten up a little bit now. Start taking a few less risks, and
I forgot actually before our mics for streaming used to be attached to the computer. And I forget now that we can actually get up and move around.
you got the old roving mic.
He asked for a total snooker there, and I thought he might have been on the yellow closest to the middle of the table, but he's not. It's very close though. He'll play it underneath. He'll obviously play it underneath and kiss it into it. I don't think the shot's on anywhere else. See what I mean? Off the bottom rail, he's not though. He's playing something different than what I vision. Foul. I thought he would have just played off the bottom rail and just came up and kissed the yellow, that other yellow above the red onto the side rail.
Yeah, as did I.
Chris is very dangerous. You give Chris 2 shots, he's very dangerous. He's probably lucky that he hasn't given Chris an easy opener. I don't know if the one near the black drops into the middle. I think it might. Hope everyone at home is enjoying the streaming from the Hobart Workmen's Club. Like to thank Q Sports Taz for streaming the event as well, Salty. Mick Grubb, Specialist Automotive. And don't normally like thanking myself when we do streams, but my company, Cyril Locksmiths, for sponsoring the event as well.
Proudly lit up down there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen in lights.
Yeah, I mean,
Great support always of Q Sports in Tasmania, Cyril Locksmiths and Jeremy and Belinda, because
I've sponsored my local football team for 15 years as well, so I sponsor a few other different
great
things.
sponsor of the Tasmanian Killer Crossover.
Yeah.
For each and every year of the, what have we had now, 3 years?
And believe it or not, even the King's Cup, that's even held in Canberra.
That's right, I did see you had your name on your shirt.
Yeah, I've sponsored them. This will be 3 years. I've sponsored their event as well.
You heading over this year?
It depends on financial, because as people are aware, hasn't been a great year for me this year.
Yeah.
One health-wise, both me and my wife, and work's suffered a little bit from it. So, but we're still doing okay. So
that's fair enough, mate.
So,
health and work and everything else comes
yeah,
first.
families first. I mean, I'd love to get over 1 year to the big guns event.
Yeah,
but just the costing factors and stuff like that, it's quite expensive.
Very good comp, very enjoyable. I've played, I think, the last 5 or 6, and I'm still tossing up whether to go this year or not.
Look,
it'll be worked out in the next month or so, 4 or 6 weeks, but could be full by then. I think they've nearly filled the field. So
it just looks like look. Let's face it, the A-ball community comes together really well at these events. I mean, I've noticed that more playing in our local one, the Killer Crossover, how well everyone comes together, and it does build friendships. So when we do go and play at the nationals against each other, you know, we're still like enemies on the table, but definitely good friends off the table as well.
Yeah, most certainly, mate. Most certainly.
And that's the addictive part of going away, playing in these events, and also nationals. Everyone loves representing their state, and it's a good shot by Chris dropping in.
Yeah, make a lot of good friends through pool. That's a good thing about it. It's a social game. It's build friendships, relationships.
And as you get older, it's still something you can play.
Play it forever, can't you? Really. Old mate that was. Sorry, I don't know his name. The old bloke that passed away down here this year. What was he still playing at 90?
Fred House, 99.
99 years old.
99.
And you streamed a game one night,
I streamed a game against him when he played Chris Snare at the Wagon.
Yeah.
And I was mainly just streaming that match just so people could actually just see him, how he hits a ball. And I didn't actually realise he was going to come out, and at the time Chris was a current Tasmanian player. He came out and beat Chris on the evening. Not that it worried Chris, but I mean, it was just good to show how much enjoyment can be had by older players. He loved it, and he drove himself still. He only just retired from lawn bowls a couple of years ago. Jesus. And apparently he was scary to be in the car with. He's not real good at roundabouts. Apparently he went through a few roundabouts. So he went from giving people lifts to 8-ball and snooker, because he used to play snooker as well. It's quite active, active, and he loved gardening, and he should have died as a 16-year-old. He was meant to be on the HMS Sydney that they sank off Perth, and he was the last known survivor of that, and no one survived on it except he was ill, and they wouldn't let him go on the boat. But he was actually on the HMS Sydney. That took them. They only found that not that many years ago, because it was missing for all those years.
Just hung around for another 80 odd years, 83 years.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal story, and quite a fascinating to talk to as well. Like when you talk to him about Q Sports, especially what it was like in just that different era.
Yep.
Obviously, snooker has unfortunately died a little bit over the years. But he's just a fascinating guy to talk to. He was really struggling to breathe though in the end. I think he suffered a lot from emphysema.
Yeah.
I think that's what got him in the end. Obviously he had a strong heart.
Lucky's playing a big shot here.
Big shot.
It's an all or nothing shot really. Dial up to the middle. Great hit.
Great hit. Great shot. What's he
Never
left
looked
with
like
there?
missing off the bat, did it?
I really believe he'll go for the controlled pot down the bottom corner. No, he's lining up the double. He not afraid of a double. I kind of I like it because he's confidence on him, but I've seen him pot them down into the bottom, like cutting them fine.
Makes him a lot harder too when you're trying to screw the white ball away from a pocket or something like that. You
Well,
know,
it was
puts that little bit of throw away side on the object ball.
Chris will be trying to get as close as he can to that side rail, which he's actually done perfect. Oh, actually, he's got no angle whatsoever to do anything. He actually is not as comfortable with it as what I think it looks. originally we thought perfect, but
Yeah.
he'd rather that white a lot closer to
How
that
often does
side.
it happen though? You just play for an area and you just land dead straight like that.
So on the camera, when you look at the monitor and on the camera, you think, oh, what a fantastic shot. He's fat on that, but he's really only got a drop in. That's all he's got.
I think all he needs to really do though is just stun it, leave himself that, 10, 15 mil off the rail, and he's got
That's all he's
reasonable
done.
cueing.
Yeah. But like anything in the game, you try and leave yourself the easiest options. Like this, he will now be just bouncing it off the side rail.
As long as you're not stuck to that rubber, you're always more comfortable. If you're stuck on the rubber, it's a little hard.
Just means he's got to power this a little bit more. Sort of left himself in the middle of either pocket.
That's no man's land. Yeah,
I
you're
thought
right.
yeah, that's what I said. And isn't it amazing? You're only talking, a ball's width on the 2 shots before, making it either really easy or making it... I still back Chris to pot this every day of the week. Oh, wow.
That's a pretty big shank. That missed by a long way.
You can only put that down to pressure.
Yeah, correct. Every other day away, if you were playing him out there in a stuff around game, he'd knock that in usually 10 out of 10 times. Wasn't a hugely hard pot for him.
That's and that's punishment.
But he missed it by 4 inches.
Yeah, that was a long way up the rail. 100%. You don't like seeing people, unfortunately, do that, but it is a part of the...
Well, it happens all the time. Yeah, it's just a factor of the game. Like you feel it, your body feels it, your arm feels it, and you've only got to twitch that little bit, and it throws you right out of whack, doesn't it?
Well, it's the first time Greg's been in front in this game. It's the first time.
Probably a good time.
It is a great time to be in front.
And a dry one. Tell you what.
Right. And there.
All those reds, mate.
They're all on.
Very
And this is
reasonable.
the time where you would want to try and punish, like to just these last few frames.
So be taking this red to this corner here now. Get yourself into nice position. That's not bad, but he was always cannoning that yellow somewhere.
Did that yellow just go down and cover the black? Because I thought that black went into that hole. But look, he's got options. Like the black's out there. I mean, obviously this being the last red in the bottom left-hand hole gives him plenty of options to where the things hit. I think after the, I would have preferred this the hole to take it. He's the top.
Yeah.
People are obviously ringing constantly on my phone. I've got it turned on to silent and I won't be answering anyone.
Oh, I haven't got any friends. Mine doesn't ring.
If they want to speak to me, they can come into the Hobart Workmen's Club and watch the final. It starts at 3 o'clock. Well, in saying that, it probably won't start at 3 o'clock.
No.
It's nearly 10 to 3 now, and it will probably be starting about 20 minutes after this game finishes. So I think Greg's back in the same position he was before.
I missed what Skinner's done then, sorry.
I think he just tried to cover that ball up in the bottom, which he's achieved, but I think the red, I think that red goes under. Wow.
So he's wicked that red, but I think it went exactly back where it was.
No, it's a little bit further out.
A fraction out, is it?
Because I'm looking straight up that rail. There's some really hard shots, positional shots here to play.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, what's the chances of potting this in the middle and coming down in between those two yellows?
He's going to have to.
Staff, how are you? Big shout out to Staff and Lockie for watching up in Launceston. I hope all the guys from actually up north and around the state are enjoying the live stream from the Workers Club. Next time he sees us, he can buy us a beer. Yeah,
apparently Staff.
You done a beautiful. You and
tattooing
Staff
people,
and
mate.
Bart done a beautiful musical rendition of a song for Luke Webb on Facebook last night. And he's trying to tell me he had an early night, and I think that was posted about 2 o'clock this morning.
And he was tattooing people this morning after going to bed at 5 o'clock this morning on the gas, Staff.
Oh, congratulations to those game people getting done.
Apparently shading was a bit rough. Is that what you heard? How was the car, Staff, this morning when you found it at work? Was that all right, or was there? Did Bart? Did you do something to Staff's car this morning, mate, or did you see someone doing something to it?
I TP'd it.
Got
and apparently when you got to work, you didn't know you done it.
Got Bart having a chat to us from behind our commentary. One of the guys that have come down. Thanks for coming down, Bart, and watching from Lonnie. The 8 ball's great and good venue. If you had a feed,
It is, I've had a feed.
had a feed. That's a good shot there by Greg Laurie.
Benny always puts on a good spread.
Benny's a great chef. Hopefully Benny will be one of our major sponsors next year.
Yes.
He should be.
He should.
I won't say he makes a lot of money out of us, but he definitely benefits from us coming in here playing all the time. And Ben played in the second league, Super League, and I think he might have just qualified for next year. He enjoys his 8 ball. His actual brother Damien Smith, who's probably watching from Byron Bay, is an old teammate of mine and ex-Tassie State player.
Yeah, top bloke, Smithy. Well, that's both of them are.
Both of them, yeah.
Top blokes.
Damien put a lot of effort into our state 8 ball when he was playing, and also as a manager. He was manager in '97. I know I'm going back a long time now, but he was a player well before that. Manager in '97. And due to work commitments, he couldn't manage us in '98, and he had to hand the reins over to Phil Dando, and that's the year we won it. So he done all the prep work, all the groundwork, and then Phil Dando came in as our manager after that. There's some pressure on this, Troy, because he hasn't got 2 shots, and that ball, the top left, right. Not to say it's a hard pot, but position's going to have to be. Or
He'll definitely be having a crack at it now. Whether
dangerous.
It's made it easier than it was. I mean, it's not the desired result, but still, he's developed it a little. But
there's still pressure on this. Because
I
mean the pressure on this out, if you move too much down here, it's even going to make the black easier than what it is. I think the black's pretty easy where it's sitting. I mean, it's pretty open, not obviously not open to the bottom left holes, but it goes everywhere else. And really the score line's going to put pressure on Chris, as we've seen from the last black that was missed. I mean, Greg Laurie's now, I think he's 53 or 54. So it's just going to show that some of our older players can still contribute quite well to playing some good pool.
Yeah, definitely.
And we all like Lucky. He's a teammate of mine this side of the river at the Hobart Women's Club and the other side. So like I said, I'm a little bit biased. That's actually a result for Chris. Oh, actually, it's a half and half because it now stops Greg from
I'd tell you,
potting
I'd
out.
be very happy with that. Like, you've got that coverage there. You're not really a big chance of an out at the minute, but
I tell you
it
what,
could have went a lot worse.
But what do you do here? Do you run the yellow over the hole, or do you put this in and run the yellow above? But you don't want to drop it in.
I'd just be covering this bag now.
Yeah.
You gotta just take your foot off and then reassess from there.
I wonder if you can cover the bag and just slightly bring it behind the black to stop him from
That's
having
what
a
I'd
shot
be trying
in the
to
middle.
do. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he might have to play it a little bit harder to achieve that, like that. He just hasn't got it. He's actually left a good angle for Greg to go up and down and bust it out.
Yep.
Obviously, things have got to go right, but the angle's there.
Any sort of contact on that little two-ball cluster, and he's going to be unlucky not to be on the red.
And they do call him lucky, so. Oh, he's hit it. He's hit it. Greg's going to have a go at this. He has got. Look, I wouldn't even call that ball on the left-hand side of the rail safe for Chris. It's an easy.
Oh yeah,
it's an easy pot.
If he gets anywhere reasonable on it, you'd expect him to pot it. So
that's a great shot. That's a great shot. That is a great shot. It's in. It's a great finish. Score properly? I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 10-8. Lucky's on the hill.
10-8.
It could be.
The last frame he said Lucky's gone ahead for the first time.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's great. I mean, like I said, I'm very biased towards Lucky because he's my teammate in both sides.
Well, Lucky, I'm impartial, mate, because I'm down here.
You're impartial. I'm not, but I'm also good friends with Chris as well. So.
We're good friends with all.
Friends with everyone. But
as you said, it's your practice partner, so a little bit of bias there. But
in saying that, hopefully I'm good enough in another 4 years' time to make the Masters.
Tell you what, should be a strong Masters side. A few of these other boys still hanging around and Trey's in.
James Bowen's come back into playing 8 ball in southern Tasmania for the Workmen's Club, and.
I think you've got a few more years in the Open yet, old mate. You don't just have to play Masters because you turn 50.
Yeah, no.
Or is it 45? 50.
46 I am now. 50.
50, yeah.
Yeah, but in saying that, I've been away 4 years running now. In the last 4 years, I've been every year. And to be honest, this year will probably pull me up for a few years. If I make it this year, it'll pull me up for a few years, and then I'll probably come back for the Masters. Just only because I've got a few other things I've got to look at doing.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a lot of time you've got to take off. It's not just the 2 weeks or the 10 days for the Nationals. It's the preparation, the qualifiers, the travel for qualifiers. I am a financial burden. I
am addicted to the Nationals though, because as much as you have certain people saying you shouldn't look at it as a reunion, but you just can't help it. It is a reunion every year. You're going away and you're catching up with friends that you've met over the years.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, while the Nationals was on last year, I was on a cruise in the South Pacific.
Keep your mind off it.
And it kept my mind off it. I didn't think about it once, to tell you the truth.
We probably thought about you more times than probably what you thought about
I did
us.
think about it a couple of times because I had Dando was sending me the scores through on Facebook of all the matches, which I asked him to do, and he did, thankfully. So I was happy about that.
I mean, don't worry.
And I got home for the end of it, so I watched you boys on the stream from the lounge chair, which was great.
Look,
thanks, mate.
We were happy with the team we got last year, because you've always got to be happy with the team you've got. But I mean, you missed out by virtually, you might as well say, you missed out by a frame.
Yeah,
a frame. And when you're talking over, 74 frames, and you miss out by 1 frame, it's a bit heartbreaking. And we wanted you there as well, because obviously you've captained Tassie for the last few years, and we definitely wanted you in the side. A lot of people asked about you, so that's always a nice thing.
Mate, I can tell you, I was just as enthusiastic and pumped as you boys were from the armchair at home, mate. I was heart beating out of my chest, absolutely fanging for you boys, and
It's a bit of a basic mistake there by Greg, unfortunately, because I think he was looking at the finish then. Oh yeah, look, last year it was fantastic. The boys have committed to come back and give it another run this year. So, you know, 'cause a lot of those boys, you know, they're just buying houses, they've just had children. You know, we're a little bit luckier than that. You know, your kids are all adults.
Yep.
How old are you again?
37.
37, and
Yep.
all your kids are adults now, which is amazing.
Yeah, I've done it the other way around.
You've done it the other way. You started extremely early.
Started very early, yeah.
But it's, you know, so, and it's a little bit freer for me as well because my kids are, you know, my youngest is Nicole, 16.
Yep.
My eldest has left home, Jess, so I've only got 2 at home, and Emily's 19. So my kids are moving along nicely in their age and their life.
That's what it's all about, mate. I tell you, I was actually thinking about having a couple of years off and then maybe seeing how I felt about coming back. But the whole Albury thing has reinvigorated me because I enjoyed it so much in Albury. Great venue.
Couldn't ask for a better venue.
Yeah, just
a lot of people are talking about having it. It's a little bit not fair having it there under a 3-year deal, but I think it's actually going to be the best thing for 8-ball.
I thought it was fantastic, and if they're willing to kick in the finances,
yeah.
I'm very happy for them to be the sponsor.
I can't drink alcohol, so I'll have to be one of them.
I'll just have a Carlton draft schooner, Steve. I'll just have a Carlton draft schooner, thanks, mate.
Thanks.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steph. Appreciate that.
Staff. You're a legend, mate.
Thanks for your credit card details, Steph.
Just send his credit card details through. We've got a free tab going
Open
on
bar.
down here for the commentators. What an absolute superstar.
But getting back to Albury's. I've been to a fair few nationals over the last 20 years, and I enjoyed Empire. I think Empire is a great venue, because it's already a dedicated pool hall. But I think the best whole venue that incorporates everything would be Albury by a mile. Even though it doesn't have accommodation at the venue, it's only a couple of minute walk away. The staff there are extremely friendly. The venue's spotless, clean.
Yep.
The food, yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah. The food there is phenomenal.
Like a banquet every night.
Thank you. Cheers.
Banquet every night, mate. She was.
So I think what the ABF done there is great for the sport, and if it helps create more money for our national side or our junior development, I'd actually like to see, going off a little bit here, I'd actually like to see the juniors become a part of our nationals. I think because now our nationals only run for 8 to 9 days, doesn't run for the 2 weeks now. The juniors only run for about 6 days.
I posted this just recently on the Bull Players of Australia page, and got some. I think the juniors would enjoy it.
I think they get out of it.
There was some things about that they're played at the moment during the school holidays period, which obviously is ideal for.
I can tell you now, some of the teams, especially Tassie, have struggled to send away players purely and simply because of financial commitments from parents having it so early in the year.
Yeah.
Like straight after Christmas. It hurts. And our qualifications in Tassie aren't until November. So it only leaves them like 2 months to get the team together.
Yeah, I thought that'd be the ideal situation to have it there at the commercial club. You could have the juniors in one of the other function rooms with their own tables, and then us play ours. But in between their matches, they could go and watch the seniors. You know, they're going to develop a lot quicker. They're going to pick up things. They get to see these players in person. You know, we get to have a look at them as well. See who's coming on.
Great shot by Greg Lowe. And I'll tell you what, I came and umpired a fair few of the matches for the under-15s this year.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit that's a great shot. This is for the win. This is it. That's it. No, that's not it. Could that be a turning point?
Probably could have just took a little bit more time there. Like he just walked around, had a look. He was straight around there. You know, he's probably very confident he was going to pot it.
Yeah.
But, you know, just walk around, have a nice look at the pot and angle.
Yeah.
Walk back.
I think it adds that added pressure when you're on the hill as well. I mean, you know, you've only got to.
Yeah.
But I mean, we all know how Chris can run racks. I mean, Chris is in the box seat here now, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And then you don't know what the mindset is going into the next frame. I mean, it's like any sport when you've got that opportunity to finish anything off to get to the next stage. It's not easy. I've seen Chris come back many a time by giving him the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? Like you give him the opportunity. I've seen him come back time and time again.
Want to get rid of that ball up the top there as soon as I could. That's what I would want to do because it's just in an awkward spot.
And you know what though? I know Chris's game and he likes a long draw. So as long as he got fat on it.
He got reasonably straight.
If he got reasonably straight on it, he loves drawing the ball back distance.
Yep.
But I think you're right. I can't see
he will have to now. He'll play this ball to the bottom corner past the black, and then he'll drop the one to the middle and run through.
He's got it. I just think by the way those last few balls were positioned. Gee, I'll tell you what, this is not.
No, it's all right. He's got angle up.
Yeah, but geez, he wants to be against that side rail as much as he can, and I don't think the angle creates it to go through to the side angle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's better than it looks when you're looking behind it.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, I would have played it with a bit of left-hand side to go through.
I don't think he could have got to the side rail.
There's still nothing wrong with that, really.
Well, it is, because if he collects any side rail, it's going to throw it to the other side.
Oh yeah, I don't.
You know what I mean?
I know, but I don't think he really needs to. I think he'll be fine.
You know what? Punch it in with heaps of right-hand side and get it to come round. Things could go wrong here, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, definitely. It's not where you want to be, but I think if he cues this nicely, he's still got enough there to draw back for it.
He hasn't. Oh, he has. Well, he's not left himself the easiest of cuts. But let's face it, he's not worried about position here, he's only worried about potting.
He'll play it with a bit of pace too, so if he does happen to miss it, hopefully rattle.
He's left it in the hole, and that's the frame. He's forfeited the match. Congratulations, Greg Laurie. Greg Laurie has made it through to the final of the Tasmanian Super League, Southern Tasmanian Super League, and we'll have about a 15-minute break, 10 to 15-minute break, and we'll be bringing it to you at, might as well say about 3:30. We'll be back with you about 3:30.
For Greg Laurie, the Marcus Jackson.
So we'll be back with you in about 20 minutes. See you shortly. Bye. That's it, 3:30.